What's up, family? Brother, this is the first time I went live. I'm sitting here like, you know what? I was about to make this video asking that question about Anthony Joshua. And I said, you know what? Let me just go live and see what's here. I just got off too, brother, about 40 minutes ago. What's going on? See what happened. This was his spur of the moment. So we see how it go. So what you think? Anthony Joshua. Do you think that he will ever become undisputed? That's what I say. That's what I say. I think, too, with Anthony Joshua, now I got to get back in my comments. I kind of stepped away. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna go check my comments. I've been like busy. I'm gonna check it out. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I think AJ might also be in a position mentally where I think he still want to fight. I'm not gonna say he don't have the passion no more. Sometimes it's hard to tell. That's why I said, for me, I need to see. Yeah, I think he definitely put pressure on himself. That's why I need to see what he's going to look like in either a rematch or a fight with another top level guy. I don't think that I don't think he's going to have a rematch with Daniel Dubois though. I think Dubois wants to, and I don't blame Dubois. I'll be trying to see what's going on between Tyson Fury and Usyk. I think that he I don't know. It's kind of funny, man, because like it's just weird because that last fight, AJ just like look at him 2 fights before that, and then like he just went in there from the very first round. Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Because, I mean, from the very first night, sometimes fighters just have off nights. From the very first round, it was just like, what are you doing? So when he ends up, and it's one thing, even like, say, for example, if the fight would have been back and forth, right? Or even like AJ, let's say if it was like a Lennox Lewis, Hassan Rahman 1 type of fight where AJ's doing his thing and he just got clipped. I mean, it was just like from round 1, like, AJ, what are you doing, man? Like, it was one of those things. I'm like, from the very first round, like he's looking, when he got dropped, like everything. I don't think, and you know what, too? For namesake, opponent-wise, I'm looking at like videos that I did where I talked about possible opponents for him and also for Deontay. Now, I told y'all my take on him and Wilder. I knew the fight was over. Yeah. Just the first round. That's, you know what? A lot of people don't understand that. Like, and we can be wrong. We can see something and then maybe the guy wake up. But the very first, even the way he was in the corner before the bell rung, how he's just kind of standing there like, and it's not like he has a particular routine that he does and nothing like that. And he's like, it was just, he just looked, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. He just didn't show up. But yeah, it just from the very first round, man. It was like, and he never made the adjustment. And his hand positioning. I don't recall Ben Davison telling him in the corner, AJ, keep your hands up. But you think AJ would know better than that? But I mean, he fought that whole fight I mean, he went after Dubois, and the thing was, he didn't look scared. People were like, he didn't look scared. He just looked like he was just like unsure. That's why I said, go look at the losses to Usyk, right? Yeah. That's to Deontay Wilder comment with that fight out. Yeah. I think if you look at him, AJ had that same pawing with his jab. He wasn't snapping it like he was against Wallin, like he was against Ngannou. He was pawing with his jab. Yeah, even when he hurt him. And then here's the crazy part. He rushed in and tried to throw a right uppercut. Dubois comes over the top with his right. Bam. And it's like amateur mistake. He fought like a ranked amateur that night. Like for real. And that's why I said, for me, to really judge where he is, definitely when a guy beats you, you want to beat that guy. If AJ was to, and AJ's not known for wanting to try to take the lighter fights, but if he was to take a lighter fight, that doesn't, I mean, especially at this stage in his career, man, he's 34 now, like, that shit's done, man. Like, you know, he's going to have to fight another top guy. Yeah, and sometimes Father Time could just be like, hey, your turn. And that's why I said I need to see him in another tough top level fight to really see if that's what it is. And yeah, and he been fighting top level dudes all this time. And sometimes that what happens too, man, is like a guy still wants to fight, but that desire is not what it was, you know? So I don't know. But listen, it don't matter. Even if you're a Wilder fan, it's look. The truth is the truth. This is like I got a video that I'm gonna post that I did, and I explain a whole lot of things because there's a lot of stuff going on that people they talking about it as a form of entertainment, but I'm talking about it from the heart. I'm gonna post that either tonight or tomorrow. I made the video like 3 days ago though, but it don't matter because it y'all will see it when I post it. But yeah, man. Sometimes that's what happened. Look. With Deontay Wilder, right? Look, even with Wilder, let's look at his situation. When Wilder, and see, this is what I was telling people. When Wilder was with Mark Breland. Now, Mark Breland was a boxer. I think for Deontay, for him to develop, but for one, any fighter has to be willing to learn. But I think for Deontay, I feel like he should have been with a trainer that could help him develop more of the punching style. Salute. I gotta wait for your comment to pop back up, fam. I kind of caught the end of it, but salute. I think like Deontay needed more of somebody with more of a puncher style to help him develop better because Deontay, with his build, see, this is what people don't get. Yeah, I say he need to get rid of Malik Scott, but I don't think that's happening because I think it was like 2 weeks ago when Malik Scott was the one saying, oh, Deontay's not done. So, and he's coming back and he was saying so he's still a part of that package with Wilder. But you see, like, for example, with Wilder's build, this is what people don't get. Wilder has power in the right hand. Wilder, the style that, like, and not that Mark Breland, just because they have different styles. Mark Breland had that similar tall, long, lean build. He could have learned a whole lot more from Mark Breland if he wanted to pay attention and listen. I just think like a guy like Lennox Lewis. Do y'all remember some years ago when they had that video when Lennox Lewis was in a parking lot with Deontay and he was teaching him how to throw the jab? And Lewis was telling him, like, nah, I don't bring my jab back. I keep it halfway out. So this just to touch you, you know, set up the next punch. Wilder being a heavyweight and the type of style he has, because Wilder, he's not an attacker. That's one thing people always say wrong. Wilder said he'll be back 2025. Yeah. So y'all remember that, right? Out in the parking lot. Wilder, even though he can punch with the right hand, he's not an attacker. Wilder is a counterpuncher. The thing is, when he attacks, right, even from the first round, he'll go right to his bread and butter, the jab right hand. If he worked off of his jab, like when he was like that's what, to me, the best fight that I seen Wilder have was the Chris Arreola fight. If you go back and look at that fight, Wilder was jabbing all night, man. Upstairs, downstairs. He kept jabbing, kept moving. That's the way Wilder was effective with what he was doing. But Wilder started feeding into the hype with the right hand to where, see, like that windmill stuff has always been there. He never corrected those things. That's why when I watched him, I always said, man, Wilder's going to have trouble when he started stepping up in competition. And people, people get into their feelings and start saying a bunch of, oh, but what about, I'm not, forget about what about this guy. We're talking about Wilder. It's not about another guy. If I'm training a fighter, right, and somebody says something about my fighter, I'm not saying what about him and him. No, my focus is my fighter. And I feel like for Wilder, for one, you have to want to learn. It don't matter who your trainer is. You have to want to learn. But I think Wilder needed somebody that could teach him to move like he was doing, but move and set up, other shots. But Wilder always said, what applies to other fighters don't apply to me. I have a blessing and a curse in the right hand. So he didn't feel like he needed to. Whereas AJ, although he can punch, he never depended on just punching power. He always used all his skills. Wilder going through and it's like now too, and look, people can't, when you go through personal issues like that, it affects your life. It's not about, oh, it's an excuse. No. The man going through the stuff he's dealing with personally and whatever, if you back and forth in court or whatever's going on, that stuff, of course, it takes toll, especially when it's people you care for or once cared for or whatever. So, but with Wilder losing 2 back-to-back fights and being knocked out by Zhang, in his position, and that's why I say look at it from a fighter standpoint and not a fan standpoint. We can look and say, like when I did the video, when I'm saying the best possible solutions from my standpoint for Wilder, right? My vision on that is not about to appease fans. No, my vision on that is, look, Wilder can't afford another loss. He can't afford another loss. If AJ get his ass whooped like he did again, it's the same thing for AJ. All right, his stock is falling. To throw him in there, they can get a big fight in terms of being like a sacrificial lamb for somebody. Now, can they turn the tables and win? That's what you never know. But to have a bunch of, a couple of junk fights just to try to get back is like Wilder beats White, Miller. I don't know about Joyce. Yeah, I think he can. He see, this the thing. Dylan White, he just don't impress. He just doesn't impress. White looks like, Now as far as, if it's about a comeback fight with Charles Martin, that's the only thing about that is even Jared Anderson beat Charles Martin. Charles Martin is really a shell of himself. He's it won't do anything for Wilder. And Martin is not the type of fighter. If he wanted to just get some rounds in, but Wilder basically don't come to outbox you. He come for the knockout. So, yeah, and the thing about Wilder and Jarrell Miller is, he should beat Jarrell Miller based on the fact Jarrell Miller's easy to hit. Joe Joyce is there to be hit. The only thing about Joyce and Miller is similar in terms of coming forward with that pressure, and they're both heavier than Wilder. And that's the thing about Wilder with them small legs. Wilder needs to stay on the outside and stay behind his jab. Not necessarily trying to run around like he did against Joseph Parker. But for you to have that much range, that type of reach, and you notice the only punch Wilder throws off the jab is the right hand. The hook, the uppercut, he barely throw uppercuts, but when he anything, it's just he throw them damn hooks, slapping, and he doesn't put anything on them. That's one of the reasons why it's vital from the very beginning that you take your career serious. Like, you want to learn everything. You know? See, I think Wilder versus Derek Chisora, that is a fight, I think, that I would put over a Charles Martin fight. And Derek Chisora was one of the guys. I said Derek Chisora. You just said the guy name. Dillian White, Joe Joyce, and Andy Ruiz. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to happen that way because we don't know what those other fighters are going to be doing. But now this is why I even say that. One, Derek Chisora called the man a pussy, right? He said he turned to a pussy. Derek Chisora might be trying to talk himself into a Wilder fight. Who knows? The thing with Wilder, I don't think Wilder wants 3 or 4 more fights. I think it's more of a, who could I fight? Who could I possibly fight that if I beat, I can turn some heads and then put myself in a position where people want to see me in a bigger fight. So I don't think, and Wilder said he wants to, like, okay, so I don't know when his birthday, I know it's in October or something. So his birthday is this month, so he'll be 39. He said he wanted to box until he's 40. So if he really wants to really push and like have, like he's talking about 3 or 4 fights a year, when you don't do that in your youth, you're not going to wait until you're 39 to start doing that. But those are the fights I looked at. So even if he took 2 out of those 4 or 5 fights I said, Derek Chisora, this is the thing. If they fight in the UK, right? Let's say it's a card. Let's just say it's not a fight that Turkey Al-Sheikh want to put in Riyadh. Let's just say if it's not. Even if that happened in the UK, people gonna come to see that because Derek Chisora, even though Derek Chisora keep coming up short, he won against finally got that win against Pulev, but they will come to see that. Then it's like, the little history, he got a little they could make their little storyline. If he beats Derek Chisora, right? They'll want to see Wilder again. Like, okay, he beat him. People gonna always have their opinions. They're both not the same anymore. Like, to me, Wilder looks the same. It's just he's fighting better guys. I just don't think Wilder's confidence is the same anymore. Because now it's not about, all right, I'm going to fight him. It's like, no, if you want to be on them Saudi cards. But if he beats Derek Chisora, right? And I feel like those are the easier of the fights with guys that have respect on their names. So if he beats a Derek Chisora, hell yeah, they'll want to see him fight Dillian White. He beats him, hell yeah, they'll want to see him fight Joe Joyce. Now, you just beat 3 Brits on British soil. You understand what I'm saying? British boxing, like, honestly, let's be real. The British fans support boxing far better than they do in the States. So unless, like, think about it. If Turkey Al-Sheikh wasn't involved in the last 2 cards, like with the Terence Crawford card, the card with Jerron Boots Ennis, who in the States is going to do that? They don't put cards together like that. So Wilder would be in a position of repositioning himself to, even if it's one last hurrah, and even if he lost, it's like, okay, he just made 3 nice paydays. And that's why I said, because I don't know what Andy Ruiz is doing. Now, I think Jarrell Miller beat that fight against Andy Ruiz. But because they gave Andy Ruiz the win, and I think, honestly, it'll be easier against Andy Ruiz. The reason is because, let's face it, man, Andy Ruiz's hands is fast, but that dude has no footwork. He don't know how to cut off a ring, and he's there to be hit. And if Wilder could even just get back to just stand behind his reach, and popping that jab, the thing is, man, for Wilder to win any way other than the way he's used to, it's really a stretch because, we talk about muscle memory, right? You resort to what you're used to doing. So it's not a trainer that he's going to get that all of a sudden he's going to change Wilder. But if Wilder just had somebody that could help him, just like, Well, it's too bad that Emmanuel Stewart's nephew was over there with Fury, for Wilder's case, because I think he would be able to, but that's the thing with Wilder, man. I don't really think any trainer could help Wilder because I just feel like Wilder's not going to listen. He went too long fighting one way. And that's why back in the day when we were saying, Wilder had some skills to go with that right hand, he'd be a good fighter. I mean, y'all see what he does when he loads up. He just starts, Yeah, but what you said about his timing, that's the type of stuff I'm talking about. Somebody that can help him just help him just stay focused and disciplined behind his jab, right? Get his timing better. Because that's what I'm saying. You see the thing with Wilder? Wilder's not a brawler. He's not a brawler, he's not an attacker. He's a counterpuncher. He only attacks. He'll if you're not doing anything, he'll throw a jab right hand. But it's when he catch you with a good shot. If he think he got you hurt, he'll start unloading. But everything is slaps, is wide, is and if he don't drop you when he land that right hand, like in the Zhang fight, he caught Zhang with a good one, right? I saw the video. Tim Witherspoon, I saw the video. Tim Witherspoon that was like maybe 5 months ago, something like that. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And not only that, learning from a heavyweight, he probably can relate to Wilder better than a welterweight. I'm not knocking Mark Breland for anything. Mark Breland was a solid fighter. It's not like you have to be a heavyweight. I mean, look at Freddie Roach. He wasn't a good fighter, but he's a good trainer. And that happens. But that's what I'm saying, like for Wilder, man, somebody that could because you're not just going to change a guy like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, even like with Anthony Joshua, AJ knows how to box. But you know what I'm saying? We see in the inconsistencies. Now y'all see why when I tell y'all I don't really rate these boxers like I did like the Riddick Bowes, the Lewises, the Holyfields, the prime, Mike Tyson, like the Larry Holmes, all of them, like them dudes, man. Look, even dudes that wasn't world champion, like that dude Ike Abeabuchi would fucking destroy these dudes, man. Prime David Tua, bro. Like these fighters are not. They just built different, man. They're too cushioned, man. They're just way too cushioned. They have this like I'm only gonna fight for this amount of money. I'ma freeze him out. I don't need you, you need me. They don't have that in them. Now you have that mentality and you fighting the guy that's like, I want to fuck you up. It's different. It's just different, man. Like I'll give you an example of something, right? The other day, I think I was in Walmart. I was in Walmart. And it was some kids in there. It looked like they was like around, high schoolers, So they was like, this and this and that, right? Blah, blah, blah. Man, I was on a bus this morning. It was cold as hell. This and this and that. I had to walk to the corner, this and this, right? And I'm looking at them like, man, when I was a little kid, they like at least between 15 and 17. I would say like, 10th grade, 12th grade. When I was like 3rd grade, I had to walk, like really walk far to school because my parents was at work. My older sisters went to school with me, and my first year at that one school I went to was like their last year. And I had one, but bottom line is, when they was gone, bottom line, we were walking. You understand what I'm saying? So if it was freezing cold outside, it took me about 30 minutes to get to school on foot, about 30, 35 minutes. So we had to leave earlier than the other kids that lived closer. We were small. You understand what I'm saying? We was built different. They bitching about walking 10 feet from their parking lot to the car. So we had to walk. If it was raining, if it was hot, whatever it was, we were out there in it. And I feel like these fighters are too cushioned. Now, Usyk, he can fight, but I don't give Usyk a chance with none of the motherfuckers I just named. Ike would fuck him up. Chris Bird would be a problem for Usyk. Chris Bird would be a problem for him. Ike fucked his career up. Ike fucked his life up. Ike Abeabuchi was a talented motherfucker that was crazy. He just fucked this shit up. But David Tua and them, man, listen, if anybody who haven't seen it, or if you don't remember, go back and watch that Ike Abeabuchi David Tua fight. Them motherfuckers, I think they still hold a record for the most punches thrown in a heavyweight fight. Them dudes was just built different, man. That's why, like, I remember somebody came in the comment section of one of my videos and was saying, "Oh, John Ruiz and the Klitschko sucked it up." First off, I'm like, bro, they came towards the end. They were like the end of Lennox Lewis and Holyfield and all them career. They came towards the end. They wasn't a part of that earlier era, you know? Salute, family. Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. But see, but the point, the thing is, with the way people think now, see, boxing is structured different. There's no real structure to it. Everything is about money. So the fighters are going to change too, because everything is about business. Business is always about business. But back in the day, people cared more about their legacies. Now everything is just money. Like, you see, remember when we had this conversation about Jared Anderson, right? And remember I was saying, I can't really get behind Jared Anderson because this is a guy saying, I only want to fight maybe 2 or 3 more years. Well, you know, I know you want to become world champion. And I don't. I don't care about belts. I mean, and remember, he was basing the fight between Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia, and they had like a 1.2 million pay-per-view buys and stuff like that. And so in his mind, he's saying, why can't I do the same thing? And you know, they always saying, well, the heavyweights are the backbone of boxing. It hasn't been. It was like that a long time ago. That's not been really the case in the past like several years, man. The past several years, it hasn't been that. And then the problem too is like with the heavyweight division, is trying to get everybody to fight everybody. There's always some type of problem. Now you got all these different promotions, the different network. It was always something to just make a fight not happen. And when the fighters get cushioned like that, they adapt to that. And that's what they expect to happen. Yeah, well, see, like the NFL, you know, nothing is as popular as it used to be, though, because there's too much shit for people to do. Like, just think, for example, right? You got all these different Hulu, you got Netflix, you got Amazon Prime. Like Amazon has like a package with the network with the NFL. However many other streaming services might have it or whatever. Say NBA. So it's like it's so much shit to watch. Like it's like people don't really miss. If they miss it, they just miss it. You know. Yeah, true. And you know what? It's funny you bring up Don King, man, because I remember when he was managing Tim Witherspoon. I remember this was like early 2000s. Like early 2000s. I remember Tim Witherspoon said, man, Don King still owe me money from the 70s. Like, you know what I mean? So now you got 10 Don Kings. You know what I'm saying? So the sport itself, like, once you get away, it's like music, the same thing. Think about it. If you listen to the best musicians, I'm talking like they got substance. They got that type of shit where you play their music, you not fast forwarding shit. You just listening to every song. Those artists made the least money. It's the commercial motherfuckers that, and I'm not knocking them, right? They did what they did, right? But listen to music now. You like, y'all ain't talking about shit. They just, every song. I don't care if it's right. Y'all listen to country music? Even the country dudes. Country music. They cursing now. They talking shit in country music. I'm like, damn. You got a motherfucking gangsta ass cowboy now. These motherfuckers are talking shit in country music now. Everything. Y'all know what I'm talking about, man. Like anything, like I heard somebody say one day, they was talking about Drake, right? And then they was talking about, what's the chick name? Nicki Minaj. Oh, like I ain't never heard nobody, like you gotta, but they sang, man, like, cause they was singing and rapping. Like nobody before them was doing that. I'm looking like, how old are you, man? All right, I'm 20. I'm like, all right, you need to be quiet. Yo, let me tell you something. Lauryn Hill used to do that shit. Before Lauryn Hill, UTFO used to do that shit. You understand what I'm saying? African Mambata in the Zulu Nation was using auto tunes on Planet Rock. Not because they couldn't sing. They wasn't trying to sing. It was just to give like a dope effect to his voice when he was saying what he was saying. And now these dudes are using it because they can't sing worth of shit. You don't even have to know how to sing. Throw some auto tunes on. I mean, the lyrics sound like something a 5-year-old could write. It's the same thing with everything. It's all about money, money, money. So the fighters, like I said, once the business model changes, the fighters are going to change. Because think about this, right? You in the ring getting punched in your face, punched in your kidneys, punched in your head, and the promoters are sitting up here. The matchmakers, they all sit, they getting their cut, but they're not taking those blows. Now, guess what? When you retire, they still promoting fights. So now you got to figure out, all right, boxing is done. What's the next chapter in my life? Yeah, Lennox Lewis and Ibuchi would have been a fight, man. Hell yeah. And yeah, you know what? And that's crazy because Ike Ibuchi, I look at him and I'm like, yo, if this dude didn't fuck up like he did, man, that dude was a beast, man. And people don't know. When you say his name, they don't have enough, he didn't have, I think he only had 10 pro fights or 20, whatever it was. I don't remember how many he had, but I know it was, he basically fucked up his life and his career, man. That dude was a beast, man. You know what I'm saying? And he was exciting to watch. But it's what I'm saying, man. Guys like him and David Tua, man, them dudes were beasts. But you know the thing about fights is, see, like David Tua, as he got older, see, and that's the thing about a lot of people who not really boxing fans. They remember a lot of these guys towards the end of their career. So they don't remember when they was really, and like Riddick Bowe, he was done by the time he was 28. By the time that rematch he had with what's my man name, the one that kept hitting him with the low blows. Bowe was done. 28 years old. He already, speech had started just slurring and all of that stuff, and Bowe was done at that. So everybody's prime, of course, is not, of course, it's all different. But Riddick Bowe, when he was in his prime, though, he was nasty, man. And that's why I look at like you see, for example, right, when people was talking this shit about Tyson Fury was too big for Muhammad Ali and all those guys, and I'm like, see, here they go with this shit, right? Now, what did Larry Holmes? Yeah, I wanted to see Larry Holmes and George Foreman too. I wanted to see that too. Yeah. But what did Tyson Fury say about Usyk? He called him a middleweight. All I need is a week to beat him. I told y'all that wasn't nothing bravado. I told y'all he was not nearly as confident as he was pretending to be. We know Usyk is not the biggest puncher, but he hurt Fury bad. So all that nonsense that they were talking is like, what you mean they'd have been too small? Are you serious? So even for Usyk to come in heavier, that's just to like absorb the shots better because he can box. He's a slick, sharp boxer. But think about this, right? Like, before I even say that, I remember when I was talking about Joe Frazier, I said stylistically, right? Fury might beat Joe Frazier in a boring ass fight with nothing but a bunch of moving and holding. Why? Fury, though, if you look at his height and look at the way Fury fights, right? Most of these boxers now do not know how to keep their head off the fucking center line. They have no head movement and they just come straight in, right? Now, Fury likes to back up. He'll keep you behind because he's tall, 6'9", in a very long reach. But when Fury's backing up, right? And if you can't get past his jab, now, mind you, Joe Frazier was up, down, but he tried it. He just walked in. Joe didn't have no real footwork. So the problem for Joe is when he lunges in, Fury is just tall enough to just lean back where Joe can't catch him clean. You see what I'm saying? And I don't see him fucking Joe Frazier up. No. I see him, if he was to win, it would just be a boring-ass fight. Look, the way he fought Klitschko, moving, and just jabbing, trying to throw his little shots and move, hold, and shit like that. Not because he's like, he's just a better fighter than Joe Frazier, just his size and his height. He might have been a problem for Joe, whereas Mike Tyson had footwork. You see what I'm saying? Mike could get in and get under that shit. Now, Joe Frazier versus Mike Tyson, I mean, take your pick, but it might have been different because they both could hurt each other. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm not, but what I'm saying about Fury, only because of his size and his height, it counts for something, but not like he's just so skillful. But I'm saying because of that, I don't see him beating no motherfucking Muhammad Ali. I don't see him beating Holyfield. I don't see him beating Lewis. I don't see him beating Bo. I don't see him beating Ike. Now, as far as David Tua, I think David Tua beats him as well. You got to understand, all those dudes can crack. And for Fury, he got hurt. Look, when he got dropped, and this is what another reason why. When he got knocked down by Deontay Wilder 4 times in 3 fights, right? Didn't get knocked down at all in the second one, but the punches that he even hit Wilder, Fury with. Watch that fight and see if you don't say, how the fuck did you get hit with that? This is what I'm saying. Like, Fury never impressed me, like all that pound for pound, greatest, like, stop. Teddy Atlas and all these dudes, you know, saying all this shit, and every era always try to find their GOAT. And for him to be as good as everybody said, then Usyk shouldn't have won. That's why everybody was so confident. Tyson Fury's going to win. He's going to be too big, too strong, too good. Usyk can fight, but you know, this and this and this. And look at what happened. And what's the first excuse that they made? Yeah, Ray Mercer. Yeah, that's another guy. Ray Mercer. Look, Ray Mercer was a tough dude, and Ray could fight. Ray's problem was drinking. I can remember, matter of fact, it was before the Lennox Lewis fight. Down in Newark, New Jersey, got this little spot called the Lollipop Lounge. We in this motherfucker, Ray Mercer in there. We you know what I'm saying, right? They had some little comedy shit going on, little talent show thing going on, little entertainment. And my man was like, yo, ain't that Ray sitting there? I'm like, Ray who? We like, Ray Mercer. I'm like, it might be. So we towards the back, sitting there chilling, and when we was going out to leave, it was Ray. And you know, we was getting up, he was turning around on the stool. He just nodded, what's up, fellas? And we was like, man, what's up, Ray? And I say, yo, man, handle your business with Big Lou, right? And he's like, oh, I got it, baby, I got it. Like, you better slow down. He just started laughing. I got you, though. Cheers, I got you. That's Ray Mercer. That was Ray's thing, man. He, you know, drinking. Guys like Burt Cooper. Burt Cooper was another good fighter that just couldn't, like, he just him too, partying, not taking shit serious. He was another one. Now you take a guy like Bruce Seldon, who basically, Bruce Seldon didn't have heart. He was just, you know, and he didn't. And honestly, for his size, man, like for his build, people look at him and think like, yo, that dude is. But he wasn't really a big puncher. He had to put everything behind his shots, and Bruce just didn't have heart, man. Like he had to psych himself up to finish a fight. I remember him and Oliver McCall fought. That was a good fight that they had. You know, Oliver McCall was another streaky dude. See, these guys that's champions right now in boxing, man, like a lot of these dudes, especially the heavyweights, man, like they would have struggled. They would have had classics with guys that was never world champion in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. That's what I'm saying. They'd have had classics with guys like that. Like they would have, if they would have won, they would have barely won against some of these dudes that never won championships back then. These dudes, like when I watch, you know, when you watch somebody, you just know like that guy's good. The heavyweights are not like that, man. They're just, you know. I like Usyk as a fighter. Usyk is a good fighter. I don't get that same feeling with him either, though. I don't get it with AJ. And AJ, the dude I want to see beat all these heavyweights. But I don't get that same feeling with AJ either, man. It's just a different time, man. I mean, then you got to also understand, these dudes was going 15 rounds back in the day. So even when they cut it down to 12 rounds, and they was a part of the 12-round era, but these dudes wanted to fight. They wanted to fight, and they knew that to be that dude, they had to beat the top guys. I don't think that like the way boxing is like, that's why what Turkey is doing. If everybody was able to do that, if all these promoters would put their differences aside, man. Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder now, I would still go with AJ. Now, I would never guarantee anything for this reason. AJ's a much better fighter than Deontay Wilder. But if he fought Wilder stupidly the way he fought against Dubois, right? Shit. Or if Deontay can land and get him out of there, but Deontay's not the same type of fighter as Dubois at all. What you think Dubois would do to Wilder? Like, look at Wilder's style, right? But the same way. if Wilder goes in there, Wilder's just Wilder, man. Like, he fights everybody the same way. You see what I'm saying? So for me, if he beats AJ, it's because AJ's fighting stupidly. If AJ's on point, AJ. But you see what I'm saying? What I always say to y'all, it's a fight by fight basis. You just never know what's going to happen come fight night. So if we go off their last fights, right? Well, what was we looking at when it came to AJ versus Dubois? Looking at AJ last two performances. Now, if you look at Daniel Dubois' last two performances, it's like, okay, but AJ looked like he should win, right? But look at what happened. And that's the thing about fighting, man. Then you got fighters that, they might not look so good. And then all of a sudden they coming in, it's like, damn, what happened? Like AJ did. Now, with his last two fights, it seemed like AJ was back on track. But that's the thing, man. You just never know. And so, yeah, I mean, and see, and the thing with Wilder is if he don't get you out of there, Zhang and Martin Bakole. I know Bakole wants to fight Zhang. I feel like this. I know Bakole can take a punch, but there's always that possibility that somebody, look how Joe Joyce was looking, right? Until he got in there with Zhang. I think that fight, I don't know. I think somebody's going to sleep. Like, I feel like either guy don't want to stand there and just take a full shot from the other guy. I don't. Yeah, I definitely don't think that. Now, Bakole's on the roll. He's feeling, I don't know. See, for me, I have to see consistency in a fighter. Because if you look good now, then look, right? Then look good, then, like, it's kind of hard to say. You know what I mean? And you got two big punches in him and Zhang. That'd be a fight, though. I would want to see that fight. I would definitely want to see that fight. Yeah. Yeah, I would definitely want to see that fight. Yeah, because now that will be an action-packed fight. I don't see. I don't really see either guy wanting to be the one going backwards. I don't think either one of them want to go backwards. I think either one of them guys are going to go for the kill. They want to go for the knockout. I could say whoever fights the smartest, which would probably be Zhang in terms of, like, not just being wild, and that's the way Bakole fights, man. Like, he fights. He'll throw quick shots. He loves to throw that jab, and then turn it to a hook to the body, and he has some quickness, but he's flat-footed as shit, man. And Zhang also is flat-footed, so I would say whoever could avoid the big shots. Yeah, I say that. And that's another thing with AJ versus Dubois. AJ got cracked early. So he got Daniel Dubois' full power early. And that's the thing about guys that can, like when you can punch, yeah. Yeah. A lot of times a guy get cracked early and they feel different about whatever the fuck their game plan was. So I don't know. But Bakole, yeah. He yeah. That would be a good fight. What y'all think about Jared Anderson now, though? Jared Anderson has been real quiet ever since that loss. He ain't been saying nothing about nothing. I haven't seen nothing. Training videos, him talking about nothing. And that was only one loss. And that's always a bad sign. When a guy loses and then just going to, like, hibernation like that. Like, it's just one loss, bro. But I don't think he has the heart for boxing. I think he probably was one of them kids that like to fight. Dylan White and Jarrell. Yeah. Joseph Parker and Caballero. Joseph Parker and Caballero. Okay, part of me would say Joseph Parker. The other part of me I don't know, because Joseph Parker got a lot of wear and tear on him too. I don't know. And it's funny that you brought him up because I was about to say a few minutes ago and I just didn't get into it. Notice how Joseph Parker won all these fights, but nobody's putting him in any big fights. You know what too? Wait, let me see something real quick. What is this? Okay. All right, let me see. Anderson has never really been, but nah, he hasn't. Yeah, he hasn't, and that's what I'm saying. When you see, here's the thing, right? He has a certain skill level, Jared Anderson, that he was able to beat the fighters that he fought. Now, once you step up in the competition against guys that's like, yeah, I'm here to fight all night long. Now it's like, damn, do I really need to take this? All right, you know what? And guess what? Now you see where the ring IQ is not what you thought may possibly be there. Remember what I said about that fight? I said, technically, Jared Anderson is shown to be more well-rounded, but I need to see him. I'm not sure if he can do that against a top-level guy. That's what we need to see. You see what happens, right? He fought a guy that is battle-tested. He fought a guy that's not scared to get hit. He fought a guy that's like, fuck it. All right, I'm going to be careful at first. I'm going to fill you out. But after a while, I'm going to start letting these hands fly. Let's see who back down first. That's, to me, Derek Anderson versus Derek Chisora. All right, give me a minute on that one. To me, his style is like Bacoli's style is like fucking Russian roulette. That's his fucking style. Like, I'm just gonna keep pulling this motherfucker until I blast you. Like, he doesn't want to, back up. He just wants to come and get you out of there. And now his Achilles heel could be against a fighter that's able to back him up. But he's a big dude. And depending on, like, I think a lot of these heavyweights, man, got stamina issues anyway. Now, Derek Chisora versus Jared Anderson. Jared Anderson should be able to beat Derek Chisora. He should be able to beat him because Derek Chisora is there to be hit. But the one thing about Derek Chisora is he's going to keep coming. And I don't, like with Jared Anderson, I don't think Jared Anderson has the gas tank to just bang all night long. Remember the last fight that he had before the Bacoli fight with that cruiserweight, that bridgerweight dude that was blowing up to fight as a heavyweight. And I said, man, he keeps fighting these little small guys. And he'll fight a big guy that has no skill. See, stepping up in competition, that's when you learn what you're made of. And when you're in there against a fighter that you have to fight, you can't fight that fighter in a comfort zone. Like, either you're going to knock me out or I'm going to knock you out, but I'm going to keep coming. And Jared Anderson showed us that he doesn't have that. I mean, even when the first punch that dropped him by Bacoli, right? Now, it doesn't mean Anderson has to get on his bicycle, but no lateral movement, no pivoting, no slip, counter punching, no parry, just right there in front of him. Like, bottom line, just like no game plan. It's like he didn't know what he wanted to do. And, and he has a lot of immaturity, so, but bottom line, his heart is just not in the boxing, man. Like I said, anybody talking about making millions and millions of dollars, but you don't need a title to validate you. Like, if you don't want to be champion, and you know what? I didn't want to say this before. I needed to see more of, but Jared Anderson is everything that's wrong with boxing as a fighter. If you are in a sport and all you care about is just money, and then when they ask you about the big fights and you saying, hey, like I told the promoter, I'll fight anybody. No. Nobody asked you what the promoter said. Nobody asked you about nobody else other than who do you want to fight? I'll fight anybody. See, you understand, there's nobody he has his sight set on. A fighter that sets his sight on the top guys, he's going to study them. He's going to watch everything they do. He's going to watch everything that they do because he's going to come after that fighter one way or another. It's like, for example, right? Daniel Dubois. He's in the same, camp with same promoter, Frank Warren. You think Daniel Dubois is not watching Tyson Fury? You think he's not studying what Tyson Fury does? Fuck yeah. Hell yeah, he's watching him. Because at the end of the day, if it comes down to it, you got to fight him. Then what? Now, guess what? Fury's probably not studying Daniel Dubois. Not that he hasn't watched him fight, but I mean, studying him, probably not. Why? He's up and coming. You understand what I mean? So Fury's been there. And when fighters have been around for a while, they only really look at the other guys that's considered top level. But now, he may be looking at him. Daniel Dubois and Fury. It depends, man. Daniel Dubois got the power to crack him and get him out of there. Now, the thing is, because remember, Daniel Dubois was always, what we all notice about Daniel Dubois, he comes in a straight line. Hands open, bouncing around, anxious, doing that Shane Mosley shit, hopping, just waiting to get one good shot off. Notice how he didn't do that shit against AJ. So, you see, he was also studying Anthony Joshua. So, he knows his movements and how he fights. You understand? They sparred before and all, but it's different. See, AJ, he's seen Daniel Dubois, he respects him, but AJ sights his set on who? Tyson Fury, right? Usyk, the top dudes. That's who his sights is on. So, Dubois is studying the guys, because all of those dudes is ranked higher than him. So, he's watching all of them. Same way how if he becomes like that dude, now other fighters that's up and coming is going to be studying him. So he can definitely crack Fury and get him out of there. Yeah, definitely. It just depends on Dubois to me, because Fury's going to do what Fury does. And if Dubois comes in there and fights smart and not running the shit, because Fury's not a big puncher. Fury has to sit down on his punches and get his weight behind his shots. He's not just like a devastating puncher. No. I'm gonna go with Dubois. I go with Dubois. I think Dubois can see, but this is the thing. I'm saying Dubois, but once again, and because I saw him correct things that he was doing wrong prior to the Anthony Joshua fight. But you see what I'm saying? He could come in there and fight against not even Fury. He could go in there, take a tune-up, and go in there and look bad. Remember a couple of fights ago? Like, what is it, 3 fights ago now? When he fought that one dude, I can't remember his name. He hurt him and had him staggered all over the place. Now, I believe it was an equilibrium shot, but still, the same thing can happen again. I would go with Dubois. I would go with Dubois. I think he's hungrier. And like I said, he's studying Fury. So I would go with Dubois, because he got the power to get him out of there. Now, the problem that Dubois could run into is if he doesn't catch Fury with a good shot and get him out of there, is if he starts tiring out. Because that's one thing about Dubois, is he tries to knock you out with every shot. And that's where, he can end up getting cracked, because Fury's not going to fight him the way he fought Wilder. Fury's going to get on the back foot. Look at Usyk. Usyk is a boxer, but Usyk shows you he will walk you down if you have to. Remember I told you guys, Wilder can't box. Fury knows that. He knows that. So he can't box going forward. He counters, and Wilder got to a certain point where he was good enough to get to where he was, but his limitations, his flaws is too easily to be exploited by, a guy of Fury's caliber. So you notice he didn't even walk Dillian White down like that. So he knows, like, all right, Wilder can't fight going backwards either. So I need to walk him down, back him up, and look at what happened, right? So he's not going to be able to do that shit to Daniel Dubois. But Fury also gets careless on defense as well. You see, there's no way you're going to fight a guy like Usyk on the back foot. I visioned the other day, Dubois knocking. Yeah, listen, I think Dubois can knock Fury out. I know he got the power for sure. It's just a matter of him going in there and just getting it done. Not going in there and, getting overwhelmed by the moment, or just going there, relax. I think he knocked Fury out. But, just saying, That's who I'm going with to win between the two. Whether they fight or not, that's who I would say would win. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it's a fight that Tyson Fury wants anyway. I think Tyson Fury's going to, well, Dubois has a belt, so if Tyson Fury wins against Usyk, he'll be unified champion. I think what he'll probably do is for one last payday, I think he'll probably finally say, I'll fight AJ. Because if we go by what happened with AJ again in the fight with Dubois, well, guess what? Let's take this on British soil, and even though it's not for Undisputed, it'll be one last big payday, and I can just ride off. And I don't think he fights a Daniel Dubois. I don't think he will. Now, if AJ comes back in his next fight and looks good, and go, especially if he's going in and destroy somebody, then he probably won't even fight AJ. He'll probably just retire. But yeah, I mean, these fighters, man, like, yeah, they're okay, wait a minute. Before I even Frank Sanchez. Look how good he was looking, right? And I'm like, yeah, I like Frank Sanchez as a fighter. I want to see where this guy goes. That fight against Caballero, I'm like, now, I don't know. Did he just have an off night? I don't know. But he got the shit beat out of him. So this is what I'm saying about boxing. And remember, Frank Sanchez is the one who gave Efe Ajagba his first loss. You know what I'm saying? And the problem with a lot of these fighters, too, if you look at them, by the time they start to get some recognition, they like 28, 29 years old, man. And like, by the time they start to get, like after, and I think too with Frank Sanchez, his promotion, man, like that was the Caballero fight was the first really respectable fight he had since the Efe Ajagba fight. So it's like you went up in class against Ajagba, and then he drops off and start fighting these, small guys. Yeah, and that's the thing. A lot of times fighters, they come into the ring with injuries. Shit could happen, Shit could happen. Because I'm like, how the fuck? He got him out of there. And see, that's the thing. Now, what if, like you brought up Joseph Parker versus Caballero, right? Now, what if he goes in there against Parker and then gets smoked? Then later, the same thing about the injury might become more of a conversation, right? Then, Frank Sanchez and Caballero may have a rematch then. That just might happen. But he got, and but you know what? Look at what AJ and Dubois, right? That's how I was looking at Frank Sanchez. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm not shocked because I know shit could happen. But it kind of caught me like, oh, damn, okay. Man. Yeah, that shit does happen, man. Holyfield was fighting with a bad shoulder. Holyfield was fighting through injuries, and he never would say anything. And I remember when he talked about having the surgery on his shoulder, and people forget, man, Holyfield was down there 50. He was still in there, like the Valuev fight. He beat Valuev, man. They gave Valuev that fight. Holyfield won that fight. It was not even, there wasn't no way you could give Valuev that fight. And that's the thing. Remember, he was 40 years old, right? Philip Urkovich, Frank Sanchez, heavyweight champion. Hey, you never know, man. You never know. Now, listen, you got to understand something, too. Everybody is not going to be an undisputed champion. So there's always possibility the belts are spread around. Different guys get a piece of it. So, yeah, anybody. Look, do you remember when Daniel Dubois got beat by Joe Joyce? Daniel Dubois' very next fight was against Trevor Bryant for that WBA regular belt. Now, the guy that won doesn't get the title shot, but the guy that lost does. So, fuck, man. Yeah, a lot of fighters can be champion, can get a belt, but look at Shannon Briggs, 2-time world champion. What is he more known for? Let's go, champ. Nobody talks about Shannon Briggs as a fighter. Like, they don't really bring his name up. But he's a 2-time world champion. So yeah, they might get a piece of it. Who knows, man? Like I mean, we'll see. And also understand this too, right? That's the goal. Every sanctioning body, they don't want necessarily one champion. They really don't necessarily want that. So what happens, and this is when the division really gets messy. Now the fighters will make more money because they have a title, but it's not like they're gonna make so much more money if they're not an attraction. So therefore, you can have, let's just say, for example, let's say if Philip Urkovich had a title, right? Bucci, Ika Bucci versus Shannon Briggs and some legend shit. Hey, look, Shannon Briggs and Rampage Jackson was supposed to be fighting for the past like 4 damn years now. So I don't know. Shannon Briggs was saying he would step in and fight Jake Paul if Mike Tyson wasn't ready. I don't know. We'll see. I know Ike is still jacked up. I seen a video or two of his like maybe 5 or 6 months ago. He just got out of prison or something like that. So, but yeah, I mean, so yeah, let's say if Philip Urkovich had the WBA, or WBC or whatever, somebody else had the WBO, and yeah, like all of that. Ike wants to come back to boxing, period. I mean, I haven't seen him do anything, so I don't know what he has in the tank right now, but, I don't know. I don't know. It's one of the things you got to see it first. I don't want to put limitations on the brother, but we'll see. To me, right now, one of the biggest disappointments in the heavyweight division is Andy Ruiz, man. I honestly think that ever since Andy Ruiz beat AJ and got that money and had little fights here and there making his money, I think he lost his hunger for boxing, man. I mean, you would think with his hand speed, he'd be able to like light Jarrell Miller up. But that's the thing. Like I said, he has no footwork. He's there to be hit. And even though he has all that hand speed, he fights the wrong way, man. You remember how Jack Mosley used to always yell at Shane, like, Shane, let your hands go, man. Your hands is too fast for him, man. Let your hands go. That's kind of how Andy Ruiz, like how I see him. He got all that hand speed, man. And he just, like when he gets inside, you're like, okay, now, Andy, he's giving you what you want. You at close quarters. And he just don't let it go. Daniel Dubois and Andy Ruiz, I say Daniel Dubois. And also, too, Andy Ruiz's gas tank looks like, yeah, true. I don't think, and yeah, I think, yep, he changed, man. And he got his ass whipped in that rematch, too. Let's not forget. AJ did come back and spank him up, Yeah, but I feel like he's not, I don't think Andy really, people might have found it entertaining when he was holding up all them dead candy bars and making, to me, making a mockery of the sport. Like, look, y'all motherfuckers are here drinking Gatorade and training your asses off. Look at me, I'm fat eating candy and shit. And it's like, man, come on, man. Like, I have a sense of humor, man, but like, that's some bullshit to me. That's like, come on, bro, take this shit serious. And I think he just, because think about this. Andy Ruiz is always the little soft-spoken, I just want to thank God and, thank my promoter, my trainer, and, all right. Then all of a sudden, he doing photo shoots and all of a sudden, Michael Hunter. Man, you know what's crazy? I forget Michael Hunter even boxed until somebody bring his name up. And I know when he fought Bacoli, I think they said Bacoli, I don't know if it was his shoulder or something, they say he was injured in that fight. Because if you look, let's be real though, out of anybody, right? Carl Froch, right? That Joshua's punch resistance could be. It could be. His punch resistance might be gone. Now he did get, okay, let me say this. It could be. But, like I said, he got cracked early with Dubois' full power. Flush. Fighting stupidly. See, understand too, right? If your hands is here, right? and somebody get through, but your chin is here, okay. But when you're fighting here and the motherfucker just boom, you easily can discombobulate you. But it could be. That's why I'm saying I need to see what AJ looks like in his next fight. It could be, man. And that's the thing. We never know. And everybody, look, if you look at Sugar Ray Leonard was a great fighter, man. But Sugar Ray retired, come back, retired, come back. And Sugar Ray only got like 30-something fights. Like, when you look at him, you like, damn, yeah, for real. There's people that got way more fights than Sugar Ray Leonard. He just, so when you look at his prime, it's like, okay, you got your physical prime. Then you talk about in terms of skill and putting it all together. The Sugar Ray Leonard that beat Marvin Hagler wasn't as good as the Sugar Ray Leonard that beat Roberto Duran and beat Thomas Hearns. Not, in my opinion, he wasn't. They all brought a different challenge to the table. If you watch Sugar Ray Leonard in that fight against Hagler, he won the fight. All right, but looking at how he fought, he moved, he boxed, he did what he was supposed to. Look at how Ray Leonard used to break fighters down. Now, he moved up in weight, yes. He moved up in weight. And he's fighting a bigger guy. A naturally bigger guy. But the point, what I'm saying is, Leonard's skill set, right? I say his better years was at welterweight. You understand what I'm saying? So when he goes up, that's my point. He was not as good as that Ray Leonard at 147, at 160. But he was good enough to beat Hagler. You understand what I'm saying? Not so. What I'm saying is he was great at both weights. Yeah, so when you look at it, right, you got your physical prime, then you got, like I said, how you put it all together. Every fighter really doesn't just get better with time. They have a certain skill set that they have, and they just carry it. Now, you go up in weight, most fighters don't really go down in weight, unless most of the fighters that go down in weight are fighters that's not really big punchers, right? And they try to fight as small as they possibly can. But once you leave a division, most fighters, like I said, they go up. So when you look at, like, who can we look at and say, who can we look at that's like been the same fighter even though they went up in weight? Give me a name. Somebody give me a name. What fighter can we look at and say, okay, Stephen Fulton, for example. Stephen Fulton, even though he went up, people were saying that, I like to see Terrence Crawford and Gerard. Yeah, listen, man, I want to see the Crawford-Gerard in his fight too, man. I want to see it, though, while Crawford still got it. I don't want to see him stick around too long, and then if he does lose, Gerard doesn't get credit. We need to see it happen while Gerard, while Crawford still got it. I mean, yeah, we can say, well, he got in the ring, true, but, but check it. You see how Stephen Fulton went up in weight, and even though he went up, he was the same fighter. The problem was, and that's why I told people, I'm like, listen, man, when Inoue went up in weight, what I'm saying is, even though he went up, Fulton was the naturally bigger guy. But Inoue still is a lot stronger. A lot stronger. So I said to people that was saying he don't punch hard enough to hurt Inoue. Maybe not. But I didn't think it was going to be so much his punching power. I felt like it's going to be more of a thing. He's not going to be able to find Inoue easy. Y'all see how the fight went. And basically, I remember him cracking. He cracked Inoue with one good, I think he caught him with a right hook. Stopped Inoue in his tracks. And then backed off. So Inoue knew, okay, he don't want to mix it up. He knows I can hurt him with either shot. And the thing was, Inoue didn't let him get comfortable doing nothing. Like everything, and Fulton was trying. So people like, oh, he's overrated. No, he's not overrated. He's a good fighter. Inoue is just that much better. So now what I'm saying is, imagine if Fulton is having problems at 126, why would he go up to 130? That, you know what I'm saying? That's like suicide. Hey, we'll see what happens with AJ, man. He's, like I say, he's the heavyweight that I pull for, but Just because I like a fighter, man, y'all know I'm not biased. I don't, I want to see him, come back. But if he don't, and that's that. But see, this is the thing about boxing. Y'all know this. A fighter can just look old overnight. Like the last time you seen him, you like, oh, yo, I want to see him versus him. And then what happened? Dubois versus Joshua. Just some shit like that happened. And you like, damn, okay. Now, it would have been less shocking to people if, let's say, AJ struggled when he fought Ngannou, struggled against Wallin. He smoked both of them, and he showed skills. You see what I'm saying? Then all of a sudden he fights Dubois, and it's like, what the fuck happened? But yeah, we got to credit Dubois too, because AJ he looked like shit that night, but Dubois did what he was supposed to. Yeah, man. I want to see AJ come back, but I mean, I can't. I'm not just going to be like, look, hey, listen, man. I told y'all in football, right? I always like the Raiders, right? The Oakland Raiders to the Las Vegas Raiders, whatever. And I remember a couple years ago, this dude was like, yo, I noticed you never talk about football, man. I'm like, for what? For what? What team you like? I'm like, bro, I like the Raiders. And they had a suckiest year. And a team could start out and be like 0-8. And they got fans talking about, yo, we still got a chance. Like a chance to do what? Lose another game? What the fuck? 0-8? So, yeah, I want to see AJ, I mean, and it's never personal with me, man. Like if AJ, like when he got his ass whooped by Dubois, I'm like, from the very first round, I just said, I don't like what I'm seeing from AJ as far as him winning this fight. But when it was over, it was over. It's like, I don't like take none of that shit personal. I just love boxing, man. I love all like combat sports, man. Like, so, yeah, but Dubois did what he was supposed to do. Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? That's the thing I'm saying. See, it was bad AJ, but what if Dubois would have struggled? Then we would have been saying, yo, the way AJ fought, Dubois should have knocked him out. Dubois he's not ready. You see what I'm saying? But Dubois went in and did what he had to do. Even when AJ cracked him with that shot, he kept his composure, Dubois versus Caballero. I'm gonna say Dubois. But yeah, I'm gonna say Dubois. But hey, listen. That's one thing about big punches too. Like I said, when a guy gets cracked, especially when he don't really expect to get cracked, you don't know how they're gonna react to those shots. Dubois shows heart though, and like I said, the way he fought against AJ, how he fixed those flaws that I was always calling out, I respected that. But AJ went in there and fought in a way like that's the worst I ever seen AJ. I mean, because even against the Ruiz fight, he even scored a knockdown against Ruiz in the first fight. And I mean, we know the story that happened that came after all that, which I ain't gonna get into all that. But at the end of the day, with AJ, shit happens, man. But like inconsistency in fighters is why it's really like for me, you never know what could happen. But okay, for example, right now because of Terrence Crawford's age, people might be a little more reluctant to just say, he win. But what happened last month? Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing. That's the thing, family. You never know how a fighter is going to react in the fight. See, like I was saying about Crawford, because of his age now, somebody being real, right? They'll feel like, wow, man, training for Helenius. Look, yeah, man, yeah. Now, and speaking of Helenius, now look at when Wilder fought against Helenius, right? First round knockout. AJ got him in the 8th, but they both got him with the same punch and won, and he was asleep. Now, you look at AJ versus Wallin, right? Then you look at Wilder versus Parker. Now you look at AJ versus Ngannou, Wilder versus, I got you. Give me a second. I'm going to get back to that comment. Now, if you take that, right, into consideration, right, people always say, you're only as good as your last fight. I don't necessarily believe that. And you can see that that's bullshit. That's the way people word it. You do not know what a person is going to bring to the table in the next fight. Because if AJ was as good as his last fight, right, did he look the same to you? So you see what I'm saying? Different opponent, but he wasn't even showing the basic fundamentals. He wasn't even showing the basic fundamentals, man. Sloppy footwork, didn't look confident. I think for AJ, man, if he feels uncomfortable, he just falls apart. Like he just doesn't, but what I'm saying, so when you go by all of that, then you look at what Frank Sanchez was doing. Now somebody put in the comment section that he was injured. Okay, so the thing is, now it's like, all right, what does Frank look like next? I got to see more of this guy Moses. I haven't seen enough of him to really make an assessment of him. I have to see more. I got 4 days off from work, so I'll probably just pull that up tonight. Check him out. I got to see more. I got to see more of him. But yeah, now, so that's just what I'm saying. You look at a guy like if Wilder came back, and let's just say Wilder fought Ruiz, and he knocked Ruiz the fuck out. All it took is one fight. They're going to make noise, and they're going to say, fuck it. You see what happened? He lost 2 back-to-back fights. He just won. Fuck this. Let's try to put him in a big fight now. Because the people want to make money. They want to make money. And once you create a buzz, once you create a tidal wave, you got to ride that motherfucker. Otherwise, it's just wasted. That's what I'm saying. Look at Joseph Parker. All these fucking wins that he came up with, and nobody's putting Joseph Parker in the mix of nothing. I told y'all. When he beat Wilder, I said, nah, everybody's talking about what should have happened in what Wilder versus AJ. Nobody was talking about Joseph Parker. And I said, that's fucked up, man. That dude went in there and fought. He won. And it's like, now what? Then he got the fight with Zhang, but it's like, look since then. Look at since then. So, yeah, I mean, now, to that comment, fam, yeah, if AJ fights smart, because he fought like shit. If he go in there and just fight the way he's been fighting the last couple of fights, yeah. I mean, because if you think about it, right? What Dubois did, he kept the low stance, kept his hands up, and he wasn't on that center line like he's known to do. And basically, he's coming in, he's pushing AJ back. I think what AJ too, what he did wrong. When AJ when he was at the press conference and he said he's not going to depend on just power to beat Dubois. I feel like you shouldn't even said that. You can punch. You're strong. You need to let Dubois know I'm there to stand my grounds. You got on the back foot immediately. You understand what I'm saying? And your jab, you was pawing with it. You didn't look sure. Your hands was low. So at the end of the day, right, Dubois is looking at the mistakes you're making. What I'm saying is Dubois might not even have been as aggressive as he was if AJ would have been sharp. You see what I'm saying? AJ was showing flaws from the very right from the bell. So it's like, oh, you really gonna keep your hands that low? Oh, okay. You see what I'm saying? So let's just say if they have the rematch, right? And Dubois goes in there and he comes out aggressive and gets caught with some shit. Then it's like, okay, AJ's back. That's just the way boxing works, man. I mean, remember, we've seen Shane Mosley lose multiple fights. And every time you turn around, Shane was in a title fight with somebody. You know what I'm saying? And, I mean, damn, who did he lose to? He's lost to Vernon Forrest twice. Then he lost to Winky Wright twice. He lost to who else? He lost to Miguel Cotto, Canelo, Pacquiao, Floyd. But, yeah. Every time you turn around, he's in a title fight. Zab Judah had multiple opportunities to fight for titles. And so, yeah, I mean, Yeah. But you know that's what I'm saying. That's what happens when you Anthony Joshua versus FA. I think that'd be a good test to see what that I think that'd be a good test to see what AJ really is too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That'd be a fight. That'd be a good test for him. FA's a pretty decent fighter. He's a decent fighter. That'd be see, and that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. We need to see him going there. I don't want to see AJ jumping there with some dude that's undefeated, but like sea level, and because that does nothing for you. You can't lose to like if you lose to an A class fighter, the least you can fight is a B plus. You can't go in there and fight no C class fighter and then now I'm confident I can beat this A class fighter. Like nah, you have to like I said, all that filling out process shit and resetting. Like how many resets a motherfucker gonna have, right? I think that AJ just needs to like I don't know. We just what? Like I said, we just got to see AJ fight that next fight, and see where he's looking like. Because AJ, if you notice, right, back in the day, all AJ talked about was being undisputed. You notice how now when they ask AJ about being undisputed, he's like, well, it's a lot of pressure, you know. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot of pressure. But I don't know. We'll just have to see how things go, just pray, trust the process, and it's no more, definitely, I want to be undisputed. It's like, and that too is bad. Like, what I mean, you got to learn what to say and what not to say. Not to be a liar and to deceive the people, but you show weakness. You show uncertainty in yourself, when you say things like that. If you want something, you got to go get it. AJ knows that. And the older you start getting, even when you're not actually old, but I don't know. I mean, if shit. See, the thing about a rematch, right, is this. That's what I'm saying. I really can't. I mean, shit, at this point, let me say it like this. If Anthony Joshua just had a bad night, I don't know. If it was just a bad night and he really has all the same shit that he's shown us lately, I go with AJ all day. But that's what I don't know. So, looking at what I saw, he just fought stupidly, man. Like if he would have went in there and was fighting the way, like how we saw him, and he just got beat, then I would definitely say Dubois. The way he looked, I don't know, because I don't know how much of it was just, if it was just him having a bad night, or is he just starting to decline. So if that's what it is, if he's just declining, Dubois knock him out again. If he just had a bad night, I don't know. Did y'all see the video that he did? He basically made a video where he talked about, he just basically just saying he's still in good spirits, and he's not giving up. He's about to go train, and he seemed to be like he's handling the loss well, to where he's not letting it kick him up the ass. But it's not about talking shit. You can say whatever you want, then go in there and get your ass beat. But AJ's never been like a real intense dude that so when he says something, a lot of times, I guess it can come off as like unsure of himself. And I felt like he definitely wasn't sure of himself for a while, after that Ruiz loss. It's just like he came back and he won, but, like he went from fighting, like back in the day, he fought like I'm the boss in the ring, to you're just as much of a boss in the ring as I am. Like, you know what I mean? Well, Joshua beats Dubois, and he shows 2 more fights against. Yeah, I mean, but you know what? That's what I'm saying. As far as me assessing AJ beating anybody or doing anything else, I got to see him in a rematch with Dubois, or at least another top-level guy And like AJ has to show his skills, man. Like, it has to be consistent. But you got to look and think, AJ's 34 right now. I don't know how much, fights against Gabriel, Zhang. It could be that too, man, You see, the thing is, I think, like, between Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn, too, man, it's like the talk of, because Frank Warren said he's not ruling out a fight between Fury and AJ. Now, I feel like on Frank Warren's side, he feels like probably AJ's done. And he probably also, he knows that if that will be the case, and this is like a last hurrah type of fight, regardless, especially on British soil, or even if it happened in Saudi, that it would be a big money fight. But that would be bullshit for AJ to lose, and then let's just say, like, he lost to Dubois. There's no way AJ should get a fight with Fury or Usyk. And Dubois beat him. I mean, the shot, they was trying to make the fight happen where AJ could be in that position, but you got to win your fights. So you can't just take the fight away from Dubois. So for me, I heard what Frank Warren said, but I for one don't think it's going to be no rematch. If so, it's not going to be right away, because that's what they would be talking about already. And even for him to train, because if you notice, even with AJ talking, notice he never said nothing about, I want the rematch. Like just think like this, right? We all different, so I can't say if it was me, well, he's not me, I'm not him. But when you want to fight, somebody beat you, especially the way he lost, like, you definitely want to go and correct that wrong. Like, nah, man, this dude knocked me all over the fucking ring, and you know what I'm saying? Like, nah. AJ is not showing like fire. You know what I'm saying? He ain't about, like I said, he don't have to start talking shit, but he's not showing any fire. Like, nah, I want that rematch. He's just like, I'm in good spirits, getting ready to train, and there's no need to talk shit if you're not willing to fight somebody. So I don't know. I mean, it could be one of them things where certain fighters just got to fight his number. It could be one of them things where he, I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see what happens, though. We'll see what happens. And you know what? The landscape is changing right now as well, man. And like Daniel Dubois, if he can sustain that momentum, and if he can, like, just continue to win fights, and that's the thing, like, the way he looked good against AJ, but he might go in there against somebody that we think he's going to just knock out, and they knock him out. It's weird, man, because if you like, think about this, right? When Andy Ruiz fought against, what's his name, Luis Ortiz, what was everybody saying in the comment sections about that fight? Damn, AJ, that's how you fight Andy Ruiz. And remember, not Luis Ortiz. What's his name? I said his name earlier, man, about what Chris, what's his name? Anyway, it'll come back to me. But that's the guy that Wilder fought, and I said that was his best fight to me. Chris Arreola. And everybody was saying, that's how you fight him. Because Chris Arreola was right there in his chest. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. I was born in Jamaica, man. I came here when I was 8. So I've been here for a long time. So, yeah. But you know what I'm saying? AJ, see, different fighters are going to fight. They bring something different to the table. I like the fact that AJ is aware to use his smarts, but it's not, it's one of these things too, man, where, like, you expect the guy to win every time he fight, right? Or you want him to win every time he fight. Then all of a sudden he loses. And so the way boxing is, like in MMA, man, you could lose a fight. Nobody's saying you fell off. Nobody's saying you trash. You lose one boxing fight and people are like, this motherfucker need to retire. But AJ, the way he looked in that fight, I can understand why people was like, what the fuck? But I can't go by that. Like I said, you know, he went in and did what he had to do against Ngannou. Now, look at Fury versus Ngannou, right? Don't matter what people say, what little intangibles, it still happened, right? But, you know, which part, where, man? Which part of Jamaica you from, brethren? We are the St. Mary. Yeah, I think too that if you look at what's happening right now, how old is Usyk? 38, right? 37, 38. So Usyk is like pretty much at some point, all right, I did all I need to do, I'm gone. Fury, I don't really think want to keep fighting too much longer either. Wilder, same thing. Now AJ says he wants to keep fighting, but I think if AJ go get fucked up one more time, you know, Kingston, respect. You know, I think AJ might change that story too, but I think too, what I'm saying is, Dillian White, all them dudes, they about to phase out. 3 years, just say. Let's just give it 3 years. 3-4 years, it's a new crop of people, right? How long a fighter lasts, man, it's like, you know, yes, sir, big up, brethren. Salute. Well, but this is what people, like when because for me, what I do, I like whatever fighters I like, but as they time come and go, I'm looking at who's coming in next. And then that's where you look at who did what and how they did what. Like, I mean, if you look at AJ, the dude, 2-time unified champion, he got every belt one by one, and he fought them with top level dudes. He ain't got nothing to keep his head down about as far as his career go. You know, had a solid career. He did more than motherfuckers who've been fighting longer than him. But the thing is, he was talking undisputed. He wanted to become undisputed, so that's the fight everybody was looking at him having, whether it would be against Fury, whether it was against Deontay, or whoever, undisputed. But, you know, he had his chance, and when he fought against Usyk, you see how that went. But then look at it this way, right? Usyk, he never fought Wilder, which I think Usyk would win, but he beat AJ, he beat Fury. So you understand what I'm saying? And people was talking all that shit, but they thought that Fury was going to beat Usyk, and look at what happened. Yeah, but I mean, you know, that's part of what make boxing fun, and that's why it's like we need to, like, this sport, every sport need to be clean, man. Salute. You know, the sport need to be clean. Y'all see what happened with Bill Haney, right? He gave Devin Haney, he said, you got 48 hours, right, to enroll into the clean program, the Vita clean program, and he turned it down. Now, people that say, oh, but why you got to listen to Bill Haney? No, here's the deal. You have nothing to hide, right? Of course he does. If he basically, and they wanted the rematch, right? AJ versus Fury. They both just lost. AJ looked worse in his fight against Dubois than Fury did against Usyk. Usyk beat Dubois as well. It's another, he beat him too. So, looking at, if AJ don't fight stupidly, if AJ hasn't fallen off, like if that's not the case, I say AJ. I still say AJ. I mean, you know, y'all understand where I'm coming from. For somebody to fight the way he did in his prior, 2 prior fights, and then come out and fight so incredibly stupid like he did against Dubois, it's like, what the fuck happened to you that night, man? Like, so this is what I'm saying. I would still say AJ, but yeah, he bounced back, and it's like, all right, I had, that night, I don't know what the fuck happened. If that's the case, then yeah, you know, I don't. But we'll see. But I'll say AJ. Salute, salute. Yeah, I hope not, man. Like, because if he goes in there and get beat again, I mean, what is it left for him to do? Just, you know what I'm saying? He go in there and freeze up again. That's it. But that's why I'm saying I got it. Like, he's in that situation with me where I have to see what he looks like in his next fight. That's why I know I heard a couple of people say they don't think he should take an immediate rematch. And I'm like, maybe, maybe not. Maybe saying if he's not going to fight right away, but yes, that's the next fight he want. Hell yeah. Because when you lose to somebody, now you're going to prepare for a completely different style. If the fight is on the table, yes, take it. If not, okay, fight somebody else because you got to stay active. Yeah, but if that fight, if they're saying, fuck it, we can do the rematch, hell yeah, take that shit. Why not? Why not? But, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. And like I was saying, they got to clean the sport up, man. That's the one thing is for me, man, if you beat a fighter fair and square, I don't care if I wanted the other fighter to win. That don't matter. I'm going to salute you because you went in there and you got the job done. But all this cheating shit, man, and all of this, like you see one of the biggest problems with boxing is everybody's making this shit all about entertainment. Like the fight is not even the important part. The press conference is. You understand what I'm saying? And all the antics and the shit talking and people jumping on social media just insulting each other. But it's like the fight itself, people don't even care if fighters are clean anymore. You know, people don't even care. So it's just like the sport itself it is what it is, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. And for Anthony Joshua, the funny thing is, like, remember the Jarrell Miller situation. Called him, said he was on drugs, he was on steroids, he was doing this and that, and then he pops dirty. And every time somebody pop dirty, they're not going to say, yeah, y'all caught me. I don't know how I got my system, you know? Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah. Well, Turkey's talking about having an undisputed champion. And the way I see it, right, Turkey might end up like creating his own like actual boxing league, man. I was thinking like he might be onto that, thinking that way, because if he can get like enough fighters to cut, it's not like they would be against it and shit. You know what I mean? So hell yeah, they would do it. And that's why too I want to start to see, this is the thing about all these different weight classes and all these fucking 25 belts and shit. That's why every time, you know, I know every time Canelo's in the fight, Mauricio Suleiman will come up with some like trophy belt. You know, it's like a representation of that particular fight that night. Okay, cool, whatever. But it's one of these things, man, where like, see, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was saying earlier, where people get to the point where you got 5 or 6 champions all claiming I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best, but then you can't get them to fight. That's why it was like to me, I was so much more interested in seeing having one undisputed champion. And this is what I'm saying. Like, what's the purpose? Please, what's the purpose of the bridgerweight? What? Nobody talks about a bridgerweight division. Nobody. And the crazy thing is, the majority of any recognition and talk about any actual fighter fighting from the very beginning was Hassan Rahman Jr. Yeah, man. And you know when they make those belts, and that's the thing, these fighters are paying sanctioning fees to hold on to these freaking belts. And that's the thing about the ranking system too. They pay to be ranked. So shit, man, I forgot what year it was, but man, David Tua hadn't fought in like fucking 5-6 years, and fucking David Tua was ranked, and I'm like, tell me this is another David Tua. And I'm like, what the fuck did David Tua do? When's the last time he had fought? And I remember when I saw that shit, and I'm like, nah, this is crazy. This is crazy. And when I forgot the video I was watching, and I forgot the name of the guy who was talking, but he was talking about like how Bert Sugar was talking about, man, how these ranking systems are rigged, but people act like they don't understand it. And he's right though. Yeah, the Bridgerweight, the peace family, peace. The Bridgerweight division is like for what? And that's why I said too when they was trying to offer Deontay Wilder that fight. I'm like, man, that would be a step down for Deontay. Because it's like he's saying, okay, let me wave the white flag. I can't compete with these heavyweights anymore. Deontay doesn't come in more than 225 anyway. You know what I mean? So it's like, nah. Who is Deontay going to be that Bridgerweight that anybody even knows and really care about? You know, that's why that other guy, Lawrence Okolie, is like, yeah, whatever. They turned that fight down. And people, you know, they can't nobody say he's ducking. Ducking what? That's a meaningless fight. And the worst thing that could happen is if he actually lost that damn fight. That's the worst thing that could happen to him. If he lost that, why continue to fight? You're going to go down to Bridgerweight, or just say, not even say go down, because he comes in lighter than 225. So you're going to fight a damn heavyweight labeled Bridgerweight just to go back up and fight what? Yeah, man. I mean, yeah. Yeah, and you know what, too? That also hurt the sport when you keep having all these... Like, let's just think. Who the fuck... When was the last time somebody had a conversation about a strawweight? Nobody's talking about these little dudes, man. Yeah, true. True. You want to know what's crazy? The last heavy cruiserweights that I remember, and I can say I remember watching and was a good fight. James Toney and what's that dude name? I think he's Russian. He used to wear the leopard print trunks. They had a banger, man. That was one of the best fights. And Orlin Norris used to have some good fights too at that. I think Orlin fought him too at that weight, at cruiserweight, or did they fight at heavyweight? Because Orlin had went up to heavyweight too. But James Toney and this dude, I forgot his name, man. I think the Russian dude. Him and he's either the Russian or German. One of the two. But you think the world had enough with this? Man, listen. Listen. Anytime anything happen in like politics get involved in something, man, and it I put it like this: when a Tyson fight happened, a Holyfield fight, any of these guys back in the day, Pernell Whitaker, a Chavez fight, you was like, yo, the fights is on. It's not like that now, man. You know what's crazy? People are okay with just watching highlights. They don't even care if they see the whole fight. And that's why, like, think about this, right? If y'all remember the video when I first was really, like, big up in Frank Sanchez. And I'm saying it's sad that this dude, because they fought on, I think, the Devin Haney undercard, right? The building was empty, man. Aside from the cameraman and their cornermen, it was like COVID season and when he was in there. And I said, damn, that's the good thing that when they fought over there in Riyadh is because what? Now everybody, it was a packed house watching him fight. And he went there and put on, man, in front of damn near nobody. It's just like, that's the thing. All of this shit, man, like, and here's the thing too. You see, like, for example, when you're not really that well known, but then your name start to get a buzz, then you lose, automatically deflated. It's like, this dude, they talking about he's good and he just lost. And that's why, man, when people talk about boxing, see, like, I don't have anything against what the Misfits are doing. It's just screwed up for boxing, for real boxers, that people actually think that these dudes are on the same level as a Terrence Crawford or Canelo Alvarez or Anthony Joshua. It's like, bro, these dudes are not even boxers, man. Vasily Girov, thank you, family. Yes, Vasily Girov, him and James Toney. Man, they had a fucking, that might be, to me, that and was it Holyfield and Kawi? Yeah, I think it was him and Dwight Kawi. Those Jarrell Miller. It all, see, that's the thing, man. It all depends. Look, I never thought much of Jarrell Miller. I really didn't. Jarrell Miller's big thing is he's big. Um, yeah, yeah, for sure. Jarrell Miller's big. Dude come in 300 pounds or whatever. Now, you notice he keeps saying, throw 80 punches around. No, he used to. Not anymore. And he's there to be hit. Jarrell Miller's head is like that big. You know what I mean? I feel like AJ should beat him, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. Just because Dubois did what he now the way AJ fought that night, damn near anybody could have beat him. The way he fought that night against Dubois. But Jarrell Miller, another one, flat-footed. Yeah, he comes for he just is big, but he's just there to be hit. I'll be honest with you, man. If AJ lose to Jarrell Miller, yeah, he should retire. Honestly, if he lose to Jarrell Miller, ain't no need to keep fighting, man. Jarrell Miller hasn't accomplished shit. And you know he did what he did to himself with the steroids and all that. Yeah, and exactly. Miller has no damn power. He throw a lot of shots, but it just be slaps, and he's just there to get hit. Yeah, AJ should fuck him up, man. But again, you know, I gotta give Dubois his credit. Just saying, AJ fought stupidly, man. He fought that. If Dubois, let me tell y'all something, man. I wanted Haney to beat Ryan Garcia. Now we know the outcome and all of what happened. Even on and at the time, we didn't know the dude was on steroids, but I'm saying even at that time of him having Haney in so much trouble, people, but he kept holding. And I'm like, he couldn't even finish. Yo, Haney was all but done, man. And I'm like, yo, finish him. He's done. Finish him. And he couldn't finish him. So when I see stuff like that, and then you after it's like after you get the whole story, then you like, okay, so I see. Okay. Did Haney fight a stupid fight? Yes, he fought all wrong. All wrong. But, you know. Yeah, let me see. Do you know this? Well, kind of. Yeah, see, and that's the thing about Dubois. That's why I said against Fury, if Fury can avoid getting knocked out, if he can stay away from his power, and you know, Fury, yeah, for him to beat Dubois, that's how I think it would be if he was to win. Yeah, see, Dubois, and that's part of what I'm saying. AJ fought stupidly, but he caught Dubois' full power early. And Dubois is known to gas out because he tried to knock you out with every damn punch. So I feel like he could knock Fury out. But I feel like if Fury can survive the early rounds and just, you know, at least pop that jab in his face, throw that once, you know, just do what he does and just be sharp, be smart. If it go late rounds, Fury would probably, if Dubois gets tired, if he corrected the gas tank problem, then okay, he's still pretty much, I go with him to win against Fury. You know, and even if I want a fighter to win, I'm not going to say that I think they win just because I want them to. Because I see flaws in all of these dudes. Like, you see what they do good, what they don't do good, stuff like that. Yeah, if Dubois get a second win, man, I mean, shit, man, you know. And the thing with Fury, too, man, if you watch him, Fury basically tried to play it safe. You know, because he'll throw that jab because he's long. So he'll throw the jab, throw the right hand, throw the jab, throw the right hand. He throws the same repetitive shit. If you stand there in front of Fury and don't do nothing, he'll try to pick you apart, but he's going to start backing up. Dubois is not going to back up against Fury. See, that's the thing. Once again, that goes to show you how confident he was and the fact that Deontay has such little, like, his skill set is like, you understand what I'm saying? Fury was that confident. Think about it. It's terrible as Dillian White looked when he fought Fury. Fury didn't walk him down. Fury was just, you know, and I'm just sitting there looking at Dillian White like, damn, Dillian, you. And Dillian showed us how limited he was in that fight because he couldn't figure out how to do anything. And I remember somebody made a comment saying, yeah, man, but Aries, the dude is 6'9". I'm like, I don't give a fuck if he was 7'9". Man, you got to make an effort. Dillian didn't do shit. Okay, Dillian White is like the same height as Usyk, right? Okay, so what happened? It's the skills that pay the bills. You know what I'm saying? So to say that Fury, dealing. I mean, he's dealing with height. Yeah, he's dealing with a height advantage and reach advantage and weight advantage. So what? So what? And Dylan begged for that fight, and I felt like, okay, yeah, he earned the fight. Give him the fight, But he went there and he didn't make the most of it. It's like he didn't even try to do anything different. And here's the funny thing about Dylan White. I don't know where his career is going to go, but this is a dude that's going to be known for getting knocked out by uppercuts. Nobody even talks about Dylan White in the title picture or nothing like that. Look at what we're saying. Even like for people that saying they think that Wilder should retire. And I'm saying I see the same Wilder. I just think that Wilder needs to fight guys like, because look, at least Dylan does have respect on his name. Chisora has respect on his name. Joe Joyce has respect on his name. Andy Ruiz does have respect on his name. Now, but they are like the weaker of the top dudes. You see what I'm saying? So for Wilder, I think that makes more sense for him to come back and fight somebody like that instead of some tune-up guy or, Yeah, man. Yeah, and also, look, damn well if Usyk can hurt Fury, and Usyk had him like hurt. If he didn't fall on the ropes, he would have went down. What's the little guy? Steve Cunningham. Remember back when they fought? He dropped him. So Dubois could put him to sleep. Wilder dropped him. And then too, you also got to remember that's also wear and tear. Because the fights that, one thing that people got to understand about fighting, you could have somebody that have 75 fights. And you could have another dude that got 25 fights. And it is a strong possibility that dude with 25 fights have taken far more actual punishment than the guy with 75 fights. It's your fighting style. It depends on how you fight. It depends on, and then when you get hit with big shots, and because think about it, every time Wilder dropped Fury is because he got careless. No, not one time did he just set him up, and it was, oh, you gonna stand in front of me and open up like that? And Wilder just timed his ass, bang, bang. And and he goes down. So, but he gets back up. And then you got to consider all the training. People think just because you got head guards on and 16-ounce glove, that's still wear and tear. You know what I'm saying? And Fury too might also be in that mindset. Think about it. The dude done WrestleMania and all kinds of shit. Yeah, the rematch between Daniel Dubois and Usyk. I don't know, because if Usyk remembers that body shot, if Usyk remembers that body shot, he'll probably be a little more observant with lateral movement and not just be there to, because he got hurt to the body. Joe Joyce, now Joe Joyce, to me, his punch resistance isn't the same. But if y'all remember when he fought AJ back in the amateurs, AJ dropped him too. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think his punch resistance is the same. I don't know, man. Certain fights is harder. It's harder to. Because it's for me. I don't like to fantasize about who I think will win. I just look at what I see in them, and you kind of try to how you think it might translate into the fight. But the thing with Joe Joyce is he fights everybody the same way too. There's no plan B, plan C with him. Yeah, he was robbed in that Usyk fight, and I like Usyk as a fighter, but I still say what I said. When people was trying to be technical, saying, "Yo, but it was below the belt." Okay, Usyk said he got punched in his dick. No, he didn't. So it don't matter. You can say technically part of the glove was on the line, some of the glove was under the line. That shit was in the gut. And basically, Usyk fooled the damn referee. He fooled the referee with a low blow or whatever, because I felt like, he got robbed. The problem was once Usyk got up, And I remind you, because remember, Daniel Dubois had the same amount of time to rest as Usyk did. But once he got up, Usyk went to work, and Daniel Dubois didn't. And that's where the gas tank came in. And remember, the punch that dropped him was a jab. And it was like, yeah. And you know what? That's the one thing with Dubois, too, that also we don't see, we don't know that he overcame. If he overcame this yet. Now, he overcame the whole, at least in the AJ fight, with not keeping his head on that center line, coming down low to get underneath and make AJ have to, like, just jab and trying to go underneath and trying to come up with the hook to catch him. And you think AJ would be crafty enough, but he didn't do what he was supposed to do. We don't know if Dubois, when he starts fight somebody, he starts getting cracked, and he can't get to them, but they're getting to him, and say he do get to them, but they take his shit, if he won't mentally break down. Because let's be real, he broke down against Usyk. So even knocking him down, it's not like he got energized, like, yo, I got him. It was like he, and that's never been no secret about Dubois, his gas tank. See, that's the thing, man. Like Joe Joyce, back to somebody else was talking about with Joe Joyce, man. See, part of him taking punches was part of his style. And then that constant pressure. The mental fatigue of your opponent is, goddamn, what do I have to hit this dude with? He just keep coming. And that's what he was known for doing. But when he fought Zhang, it was like, oh shit, who would have thought it? Because let's be real, Zhang was supposed to be a tune-up. And everybody was saying they think Joe Joyce has had a bad night. The rematch, he's going to stop Zhang, and everybody's going to know it was just, they thought it was going to be a Rockman Lewis situation. That's not what happened. So Joe Joyce just didn't look the same since then either. And that's one of the reasons too why I said, man, like, because when you do business, man, you got to think, Yeah, he got tired. Yep, he got tired. And the thing was, Joe Joyce wasn't able to capitalize on it. That's what happened against Joseph Parker. I think because Zhang was tearing Joseph Parker ass up. If he didn't get tired, yeah, Joyce could have had him. He got tired. See, that's the thing I'm saying. And we know Zhang is what, 41 now? You think Zhang really gonna go work on his gas tank? Like it's gonna, like, what is he gonna do different to, you know what I'm saying, to improve his stamina? That's what I'm saying. Zhang was tearing Joseph Parker ass up. He got tired. Joseph Parker said, okay, now it's my time. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. And two, what you got to do as a fighter, that's why you always have to add something to your game. Because somebody, fighters study you. Zhang is only getting worse. Yeah. Look, listen, and that's the thing. That's what and what you just said about Zhang, this is exactly the point what I'm saying. It's nothing he did special against Wilder. It's just Wilder is just Wilder, man. And that's why I was telling people, like, when he fought Parker, I'm like, Zhang got tired, man. So if you listen to Malik Scott, he said he liked the Zhang fight. He's a big target. Slow, flat-footed, right? Yeah, and listen, Zhang did what he was supposed to do, right? But you see what I'm saying? Malik Scott made it sound like it was so easy. And look at what happened when Wilder got in there. So it wasn't so much. See, and that's the thing about fighting Wilder, man. That's my point. You don't have to be the best boxer to beat Wilder. Wilder told himself his opponent got to be perfect for 12 rounds. He got to be perfect for 1 second. What happens when you can't land that punch? What happens when you land that punch, but they take it? What happens mentally, right? So, all right, here we go. Yeah, I'm trying to bring y'all comments. All right, this first time I went live, so all right, because they coming and they going. All right, well, all right, I don't know. What did I just do? Okay. All right. But anyway, so yeah, and that's the thing. You can have this strategy. Look at Dominic Brazil. Everything Dominic Brazil said about how to beat Wild, like how it all, yeah, he said the right things. Look what happened. He got flattened in the first round. So he never got a chance to, operate and do what he said he was going to do. It never came to that. And that's the thing about boxing, man. You can have a plan. You can have the know-how. I think Dominic Brazil will probably be a really good trainer, man, because he has boxing knowledge. But in terms of his capability, he's another dude, man. People forget AJ gave him his first loss, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, he froze AJ out. Him and Fury. See, Fury and Wilder handpicked each other. And then Fury turned the tables on Wilder. And Wilder had to take him to court to get him to fight again. And you see what I'm saying? If he would have had that AJ fight, win, lose, or draw. And the crazy part, let me tell y'all something, man. If you're in a position to fight, right? We say this all the time. All that, I'm the A side, or I'm just as much as the A side as you are, bro, especially when you're not, you missed out on that huge payday. And this is the thing. That's why I tell people, stop with the fanboy stuff, man. I don't want to hear nothing about no 50 million, take it or leave it. No meeting. No nothing. Just take it or leave it. That's bullshit. The zone tells you, yo, we want to offer you guaranteed 120 million, one fight with Dominic Brazil and 2 fights with AJ. And your reason for not taking it was because the zone would not tell you. He and Shelly Finkel stood there side by side and told that story. They would not tell you how much they was paying AJ. If he had taken that, and that could happen. Hey, listen, you know what you just said? Think about it. George Foreman, remember he beat fucking Joe Frazier twice. Beat Ken Norton. Ali beat Ken Norton and Frazier, but they both beat him. Right? So people are like, oh shit, he gonna kill Ali too. And then Ali beats Foreman. That's what happens, man. Look, who else can we use? Okay. Sugar Ray Leonard fought Duran. Duran wins. Rematch. Sugar Ray did what he was supposed to do. That's the no mas, no more. Completely just embarrassed him. Duran goes and fight motherfucking Marvin Hagler. Gave Hagler, he gave Hagler a run for his money. Hearns knocks out Duran in 2 fucking rounds. Leonard beats Hearns the first time they fight. You know what I'm saying? Right? Hagler knocks out Hearns in 3 rounds. Leonard goes and beats Hagler in a decision. So, yeah, I mean, that shit would be crazy, man. And that's the thing. It's like when one guy beat another guy, that doesn't necessarily mean he beats the next guy, man. And see, this is what I say, like when I do my videos, man, and people don't understand that. I'm not a fan. I respect what these, look, I respect what they do, but I'm not a fan of anybody. That's why it doesn't bother me if somebody lose. They lose, you just lose. I don't lose shit unless I bet on you and then you get your ass kicked. Other than that, I don't personally care. You know what I'm saying? But that's and to me, that shit is exciting, man. That's what it is, man. But, yeah, guys take turns beating each other and shit, man. Remember remember Mickey Ward and what's his name? Ochoa Gotti. They had bloody fights. Their fights was all brutal. But when I watched them fight, there's several fighters that I felt like was better than them. But in terms of entertaining bloodbath type fights, but people fail to realize, yo, those dudes are not showing no real defense, especially Mickey Ward. So I remember when Floyd was going to fight Gotti, I remember I was at work, and man, you had so many people that was like, yo, nah, man. Yo, Gotti's strong. Gotti. I'm like, yo, Gotti's he's good, man. He's, but I didn't see him beating Floyd. But when they fought, Floyd beat him worse than anybody thought he's going to beat him. And I remember all those people, even the commentators that were saying, it kind of was like, almost like when Pernell Whitaker fought Chavez. And they was all saying, Pernell's not going to be able to play with Chavez. Chavez is too strong. Chavez is a no-nonsense type of fighter. He's not the guy that you want to play with. Pernell's going to have to fight like he never fought before. Did y'all see that fight? Did it look like Chavez was the monster, or did it like Pernell was the monster? You know what I'm saying? And y'all, yeah, he got robbed. You see what I'm saying, man? But people in fanboy mode, no, there was like, come on, man, stop. That wasn't no draw. That was no draw. Pernell won that fight. So, but that's how they was talking about Floyd and Gotti. I remember the conversations. It's just after the fight happened, then it was like, if you listen to the commentators and the reactions of people after that fight, they were shocked, like, damn, I didn't even think Floyd was gonna win. He beat the shit out of Gotti. That's how they was reacting. Time goes by, people who didn't see the fight live or wasn't really invested into the fight, they don't remember all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So going forward, there's no real lessons learned. You know? Yeah, and you know what? That's why I said when he beat De La Hoya, they always like, yo, Pacquiao was a solid fighter. Pacquiao was a great fighter, man, no doubt. But they always talk about, but he came from 126. Like, yo, okay, Floyd did too. They make it shit like Floyd started at 154, 147. No, he came up from the lightweights too and came up. Roberto Duran was a lightweight. And that's why I said him going up fighting against Hagler and all them, yeah, it was impressive. Because not only because he was a good fighter, but yo, that dude came from lightweight. And that's why I be saying, like, man, people be making these excuses up, man. Well, this guy didn't fight this one. Okay, right. And the fighter that you favored didn't fight these guys either. And you know what happened when he beat Marquez, though? Remember when Floyd came out? That was right out of retirement, and he came straight back to a fight with one of the top guys in the sport, and Marquez. And he let the fans pick, and they picked Marquez. And he beat this guy and made it look easy. Right? And they was like, oh, Floyd can't punch. Maybe he dropped Marquez. See, Floyd did what Roy Jones did in a way. Floyd will outclass you, make you look stupid, and just have fun doing it. Roy Jones wanted to make you feel his power early, should make you respect him and back off, so he can just entertain the fans and do all the dancing, slapping his shoes, and you know what I'm saying, and just beat the shit out you. It's like, it's not that he necessarily was looking for the knockout so much. At middleweight, yeah, when he went to light heavyweight, he was more of a, let me just entertain the fans, let me, play it safe a little bit. But that's what Floyd would do. It wasn't about, I'm gonna hurt you and make you respect me. It was just, I'm gonna crack you, I'm gonna outclass you, I'm gonna frustrate you, I'm gonna make you skeptical to get in. Like I said, Floyd didn't have devastating power, but Floyd could punch. Floyd had respectable power. You wasn't walking through Floyd. And at the end of the day, that's the thing about boxing, though. See, when Pernell was doing it, when Sugar Ray, they was calling that shit the sweet science, man. Now you got fucking YouTubers jumping in the ring. So people don't see this shit for what it is. It changed. So that's why I look at it and I'm like, I don't even feel motivated to make videos a lot of times, man. Yeah, and they tried to say, here's the crazy thing. They said Marquez was too small for Floyd. I'm like, if Marquez is too small for Floyd, then how the fuck is Pacquiao not too small for him? Stop with these excuses. Like, stop it. Stop it, man. Stop it. Stop it. And the crazy thing is, when Keith Thurman fought Marquez, they made it sound like this was Keith Thurman versus a fucking prime Marquez. This is an older, washed up version of Marquez. And I'm like, you see how people do? They did the same shit, man, when Shane Mosley fought against Canelo. They talked about how great Canelo is, fighting a wily veteran like Shane Mosley and this and that and that. Now, here's the funny thing, right? Shane fought Floyd first. He fought Canelo afterwards. Yeah, and lost to old Manny Pacquiao after calling him a rabbit and all that. Ain't gonna lose an old 40-year-old rabbit and all that. Yeah, and he fought it. And this is the thing, man. Yeah. See, you know what? This is what people don't understand, right? Dr. Smoke with Zoo, yes. And this is what people don't understand. This is what people don't understand. When I make points about boxing, right? I'm not making points to show favor to a fighter, even if I like that fighter better. I'm making the points because they're facts. Like, I remember somebody came in my comment section and was like, yeah, but Floyd didn't fight Vernon Forrest, right? He didn't fight Winky Wright, right? Who else? All these, he didn't fight Michael Carvajal, he didn't fight this person, all these names. And I said, neither did fucking Pacquiao. So how did Floyd duck them, but Pacquiao didn't? And they was on the same weight class at the same time. Yeah, but, no, yeah, but. How did Floyd duck the same fighters that Manny Pacquiao didn't fight, and they were all in the same weight class at the same time? So how did he duck them, and Manny Pacquiao didn't? Am I lying? This is what I'm saying. Well, people are just talking. I'm like, bro, listen. All that coulda, woulda, shoulda. What happened, happened. We don't fuck the imaginary shit. Now we can go with the dream matches stuff. That's cool, but I'm saying this is what I be talking about. They quick this, and then like, just think like this: if Floyd and Pacquiao never fought, right? The people that don't like Floyd, right? Yes, Ugas beat Old Manny. Yes, 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 and Thurman lost to him. Exactly. But if Floyd never fought against Pacquiao, people would be most people would be saying Pacquiao would have won. You know what they'd have been doing? Showing you videos and giving you breakdowns side by side. Look at Pacquiao versus this person. You know what they'd have did? They'd have showed Pacquiao versus Mosley, Floyd versus Mosley. They would have showed Pacquiao versus what's the British dude? What's his name? Floyd gave him his first loss. Ricky Hatton, right? Yeah. And not only that, family, he also offered Manny Pacquiao, and Pacquiao admitted it. He offered him a fight before he went to jail, and he told him, "I'll wire you $20 million right now." Pacquiao admitted he did it, and he didn't take the fight, and he didn't want to take blood tests and all that. So, yep. And what's that dude name? The chubby white guy with the glasses. He always do fight breakdowns after the fight. He always do like live interviews. I remember him saying, "Who does Floyd think he is?" Pacquiao doesn't have to listen to him. Here's a guy trying to make sure that everybody's just fighting clean. And all of a sudden, y'all don't even care if a motherfucker's dirty or not. That's the type of shit I be talking about. But yeah, all of this stuff about this guy didn't want to fight this guy. Bro, listen, man. If a fighter, look, let me tell y'all a funny ass story. I remember one night. Now, this is like, dude was like, yo, man, we got to fight. Whatever date it was in the summertime. I remember what month it was, but I remember him. The dude was like, yo, we got a fight coming up. There's a promoter, Lou Costello's gym out in Patterson, right? We down at this gym called Dukas AC in Newark, New Jersey. Me, this coach named Yusuf Ibn, bunch of Muslim brothers. Now, my coach name was Jamal. Now, he was a Muslim. They were all Muslims. I'm not, but they were all Muslims. But they had a little beef. So the whole thing with them was this. When I came in there, I came with Jamal. And I already came there like ultra skilled. I wasn't new to this shit. I was new to them. It was like little tension with them. So one of them tried to like kind of try me verbally one day. And I told that motherfucker, I said, when you get off the phone, exactly what I said, when you get off the phone, get your bitch ass in the ring. I'm going to whoop your ass in your own gym. You know the fuck you think you talking to. We don't play that shit over here. And when he got off the phone, all of a sudden now he didn't feel the same, right? There was a promoter. I didn't even realize he was in the gym that night. And he was like, yo, we got to fight. We was out in Patterson. And he's like, yo, we got to fight such and such night, whatever. And he was like, yo, I want you on the card. But I'm looking at him, and I'm like, yo, who are you? She's like, yeah, whatever the fuck his name is. Yeah, you know, Lou Costello's gym over there in Patterson. You was at the weigh-ins the other day. Okay, well, all right, whatever. So we talking. So I talked to my coach. He was like, yeah, all right. So we talking and whatever. All right. So he goes to Larry Hazard. And he was like, so he's like, yo, Larry gonna be there. Now, they trying to get me in the spotlight. Now, I'm telling y'all real shit. Trying to get me like, some motherfuckers is like, nah, man, this motherfucker southpaw, solid, fast, hard, hit hard, could take a punch, footwork, hard to hit. Like, nah. You lose to him, they gonna be like, who the fuck is this dude, right? Now, my shit, I had a lot of family things going on, man. And my family was always my foundation. I never wanted to go into boxing because of money. The money didn't motivate me. Now, I knew I could make a lot of money, but that wasn't my motivation at all. So, this particular night, the dude, now here's the crazy thing. The promoter says to me, he's like, yo, do you know whatever to do? I forget the mic something. But I was like, nah, I don't know. Right? So my coach Jamal comes over. And he's standing next to me. He's like, yeah, man, it's one of my fighters. And he was like, listen, I know you're going to win. I know you're going to win. He's like, but yo, do what you do. Beat the shit out of him. I want to really see you really shine. And I'm like, man, that's what I do. I'm not coming here to play with him, you know? Like, that's what I do. But I don't know this dude. Now, Jamal is like, yeah, I know of him. He was like, nah, that motherfucker a snake. He a fucking snake. Fight night comes, right? Motherfuckers is like, you know, they do the introduction. But the fight was in Trenton, New Jersey. He was from Union City. He wasn't, he trained, and the promoter, they had trainers, trainers go back and forth, shit like that. There's a lot of Latino brothers from Union City. And the dude was Latino. The funny thing was, right, the night we fought, now, I'm thinking about this shit. I'm like, wait a minute. If that's his fucking promoter, when he's saying, like, that's one of my guys, I thought he meant, like running the gym, because this motherfucker always in the gym. Then I'm like, wait, he's a fucking promoter? I didn't know he was a promoter at the time, you know? So when Jamal, I'm like, my coach told me I'm like, wait, this motherfucker telling me to whoop the shit out of his own fighter? Like, what the fuck? Like, so I'm telling you how cutthroat this shit is. So, fight night come. Man, I beat this motherfucker. Like, if he was able to take more, it would have been worse. But it's like, I'm punishing this dude. We fighting. This is what we do. Don't you know this motherfucker, the fighter, right? He has some people with him. This dude, mom, came to my coach. And was like, wait, you threaten my family and this and this. And my coach was like looking at her like, fuck. So I'm like, yo, Jamal, he's like, I don't know, you walking. She's like, please, sir, right? Check this out. Put two and two together. A motherfucker is telling me, I want to see you beat the shit out of my fighter. But I thought, like, because a lot of dudes come in the gym, attitude, be acting all, and then you be like, you know what, somebody need to fucking, whoop this motherfucker ass and pop that, burst his little ego. I'm thinking it's one of them things. This is this dude's fucking promoter, bro. This is his fucking promoter. Don't you know that this motherfucker, put it like this, according to the guy, Mike, I hate when I can't remember somebody's name. But bottom line is, she claimed they got a call saying that somebody was waiting for them motherfuckers. We know you. Let's say the address and all this shit, and was. Now, this is what I thought about. And my coach is like, so bottom line, when we talking and shit, Larry has it. Burt Sugar. Who the fuck else is there? Like in the lobby area, we talking, and Larry was like, man, this type of stuff, man. And then that's when Burt started talking about, this is face to face, Burt Sugar. Larry had, he's like, and people got these mob ties and then smoking his little shit. That type of stuff happened. He's like, but I'm willing to bet you that son of a bitch did it. I'm willing to bet you it was him. And he was like, he's a cutthroat, man. I didn't know this guy. But what I'm saying, y'all, this was like you can say my introduction to like starting to see crooked shit. You understand what I mean? That you as a fighter, really people don't pay attention to that type of shit. That's why they used to always tell you, You handle the training. You train, do this, that. We got the business part. So you don't know nothing about what's going on. So basically, somebody called this motherfucker to scare him into, fuck with his concentration. I ain't need none of that shit. If that didn't happen, his ass still was gonna get toasted. And no, the crazy shit was, like I said, I did what I did. And my coach was like, man, listen, can't nobody slight what you did. There ain't nobody trying to hear that shit they talking about. But that's what he did. So the mom scared. So more than likely, the fighter heard this shit, and he did. So when I saw him, this shit was like months later. And this was a fight we was at. And I walked over to him and I said, listen, man, when we fought, I told him, your mom came over and told my coach. It was like, why you threaten? What did we do? And this and that and whatever. It's like, man, we don't even know you. Don't know nothing about, I never even met you before. The crazy shit, man, was this. He said out of his own mouth, I don't trust my promoter. I don't trust none of them. And he was like, I don't even know what's up with this boxing shit, man. I'm trying to... It's not easy to get into boxing, I'm telling y'all. Because you have to win, like, Golden Gloves and all. Like, the less hype you have behind your name, people don't want to fight you. What's up, Flame? What's up, family? What's up, family? So, yeah, and it's one of those things. Let me tell you, Sugar Ray Leonard said that he wasn't even going to box. After he graduated, he was going to just go to college and this and that, and then he wound up getting into boxing because they needed some money. But he wasn't even going to go into boxing. It's what I'm telling you, man. It's like a lot of motherfuckers don't understand this shit, man. You know what? They had all types of boxing leagues, man. That's why I understand what Devin Haney and them been through. Because when you got to go overseas, when you fighting in these little ass gymnasiums, sometimes you could be in a packed house in a damn school gym, but this shit's not televised. So nobody's seeing you other than the people that's there. So when you got people like Larry Hazard and Burt Sugar telling you, man, you should be world champion. Like, but this is the shit I'm telling you. And a lot of times, man, like, I started seeing things. I did. Yes, listen, I used to do hip hop. Listen, bro. I'm not an industry guy. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you can't punk me. You can't scare me. You can't intimidate me. I got wolves. I got a license for every fucking firearms I have, and I got a heart of a fucking lion. You cannot, that shit. That's why you see what I do. I'm not chasing no fucking fighters around with a camera. So, Canelo, what do you think about? And you turning your back, talking to motherfuckers, and I don't take disrespect like that. So that shit is not for me. And I'm cut from a cloth of this. Like, my dad always taught me. He said, if you ever go down in a fight, you make sure you go down swinging. And anybody can say they can fight. Anybody can talk shit. And I don't have to brag about nothing, but I can fucking scrap for real. That's why when I rate fighters, I'm not rating them. Like, that's what I'm saying. People see me behind this camera. They don't understand what I can do. I train with motherfuckers now. I'm not no fucking shit on potato couch. I'm shredded. I keep my shit together all year round. This is what I do. You understand what I'm saying? So when I see these lazy ass fighters, and I see these fighters not learning their craft, not taking this shit serious, and you're making millions of fucking dollars, what the fuck are you doing? This is what you do. This is your livelihood. And you don't think that you should become the best fighter that you can? That's why if we sit here right now, you remember, what's his name? What was Ann Wolf fighter's name? Kurt, what was his name? What was his name? Somebody tell me. What was his name? And the guy that Ann Wolf was training. He could punch. He had heart. He wanted to fight. But all he had was punching power. No technique. He would not take directions from Ann Wolf. He said Ann Wolf was too hard. She didn't understand. Like, his fighting style versus what she wanted to do, it don't work the way it should because this and that. And remember, he went with another trainer. His very first fight with his new trainer, he got destroyed. And then went right back to Ann Wolf. He was a guy that just could not absorb information. Yeah, man, they need to put it back on the map, man. They need to put it back on the map, man. You know, but you see, that's what I'm saying. Is like they have to care about the sport. So what Turki Al-Sheikh is doing, this is what people need to be like. Think about. Let me show you. Just think about how pathetic this is. Think about how pathetic this is. It's good that Turkey's able to do it, but you mean to tell me it takes somebody? Just think: Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren, Turki Al-Sheikh. It takes 3 fucking people from 2 different countries to come to America to put on a fucking solid fight card. Right here in America, they can't do that shit on American soil. So think about it, right? It's crazy. So I'm like, I don't care who's doing what, like where it's coming from, but what I'm saying, it shows you everything is all about money. Like there's no prestige in even being a champion. See, Terrence Crawford, you want to watch him because you want to see, you've been on this journey with him. You want to see what the next chapter going to be. Is he going to become undisputed in another division? Shit like that. Fighters that's dedicated to this shit. See, I don't agree with and like when fighters get to that point where they say, I'm at the point where I can do whatever I want. See, no, because when you get to that point, that's when it becomes a thing of the same thing that fighters did to you, you're going to do to them. He's high risk. He's high risk, low reward. Just like I'm telling y'all. You watch what I tell you. If Jerron Boots Ennis gets to that point, yeah, man. And you know what? That's the thing. Boxing in America was huge at one point. They fought in stadiums, man. You got dudes now fighting in their hometown in arenas and can't even fill them out. Yeah. You know, but back to what I'm saying. Yeah, he's going to do the same shit. If he gets to that point where he's where Terrence Crawford is now, and like Canelo and them, like he's that dude, he's going to do the same shit. It's going to be a fighter coming underneath him. And if he's in a certain, like, just say, I don't know what Jerron Boots Ennis is making a fight right now, but let's just say if he's making $3 million. He get that fight where he's making $10 million, you think he's going to fight somebody for $3 million again? No. Nope. And you know what'll happen? He'll sit out and won't fight. James Kirkland. Thank you, family. James Kirkland. Yeah. He just, that dude had punching power. Like I said, he had heart. He wanted to fight, but he just couldn't absorb the information to learn his craft. And that's the thing with these punchers, man. Like, that's one thing that made me deadly, man, is because I could crack with either hand, but I never depended on just one thing. But I knew how to get under your shit, fast on my feet, everything. Look at my face, man. I don't have that flat nose, the collar. I don't have that shit. My brains is fine. My body don't ache. Yes, Kirkland, I swear, Kirkland was a fucking junior middleweight Deontay Wilder. Yes, he was. He was. And that's the thing. That you know, I don't understand why people, like, I don't understand is people getting their feelings over other grown-ass men, but people just could not absorb when we said if Wilder had some skills to go with that right hand. Like, what the fuck do people not get? Yes, you need that shit, man. They think Tim Witherspoon is hating on him when he say he want to work with him. You know, they think that Michael Moore, them dudes ain't hating on him. They like, yo, bro, take this shit serious, man. I mean, Michael Moore was crying a couple of months ago. I seen a video. Dude said he broke, man. He's like, he's broke. These dudes got in there and did this. Listen, I don't talk about my shit because I don't have nothing to prove to people. Take it from me, y'all. It's not easy to get in this shit. If you ain't willing to kiss ass and do a whole bunch of weirdo shit, and yeah, and I'm not with that shit. And I'm like, I don't want to spend the rest of my life in jail for, you know, taking somebody's soul out their body, man, because I don't take that kind of shit. And I don't, that's why I said I know, I do know a lot of shit that going behind the scenes that people wouldn't get in front of a camera and admit, but there's a lot of shit that goes on that is like, nah, I'm not no industry guy, man. I'm the type of person, I'll stand on business, you're going to give me the same respect I give you. Yeah, man. Yeah, Malik Scott. I mean, tell me this, y'all. Why would you make a dude that you knocked out in the first round your trainer? Why? And he fights nothing like you. I haven't seen Malik Scott. Like, if Wilder came in, okay, Wilder still has to absorb it. Any fighter has to absorb the information. But I have not seen Wilder come in the ring and do anything different under Malik Scott. I haven't seen him do anything beneficial. Like, what did Malik Scott bring to the table that Wilder needed him to do? I believe, honestly, that they became, yeah, he's very sensitive. He's very sensitive. And that's the thing. I believe they became friends, and Wilder likes to be the boss. Yeah, well, I don't know, man. Because, see, Mac, see, that's the thing, man. Mac is a thinker. See, look at what Crawford does. Now, you never know until you try certain things, but maybe Derek, you know what? Derek James might be a better fit for Wilder than Mac, because Mac is more technical, like in terms of his approach to the, you know, like how his training style. Wilder, see the thing with Wilder, man, Wilder needs to be a boxer puncher, not a counter puncher. The reason is because, see, if he is a boxer puncher, right, that means he knows he's working off of his jab. He's throwing his shots off his jab. He's moving, and pretty much with power, his opponent don't want to run into some shit. As a counter puncher, they try to be cautious, but there's nothing coming at them. That's why Wilder will lose round after round after round after round just to land that right hand. But what happens when you don't land it? See, all of that type of stuff. Like, I just don't know if Wilder is willing to receive the information from anybody, man. That's why I think he got their Malik Scott, because Malik Scott can say what he wants, but he don't run that camp. Wilder does, man. Let's be real. Wilder has done nothing different. Look, a perfect example, right? Chris Eubanks Jr., when he was with Roy Jones. Now, minus him trying to be like Roy Jones, he basically, you could see flashes of like Roy style. You understand what I mean? But, you know, it wasn't about him. Like, Roy wasn't trying to make Chris Eubanks Jr. fight like him. He was trying to bring the best out of him. But he did mimic some of the movements. Because, like, for example, you know how, like, when Roy Jones leaned forward, right? And then, he should have been embarrassed. Well, he actually was embarrassed. Because remember, he went on 7-8 Sports and just went on a damn rant about nothing instead of just saying, hey, man, look, the better man won. And he should have been embarrassed, though. He was. That's why he made all them damn excuses as to why he lost. But, man, like, remember how, like, Roy Jones, when he leaned forward and he swing his right arm like that, and what does he do? He'd feint, he'd go down, right? And what does he do? He do that little movement. As soon as you flinch, what he do? Jump in with that lead right, back, and then step under. And you saw Chris Eubanks Jr. mimicking that. But he was trying to do too much Roy, trying to bravado instead of, okay, let me fight like me. It's not about showboating, right? But he wanted a rematch with the guy, so, you know. But, yeah, but that's my point. You can see a difference with a different trainer. We don't see any difference in Wilder with Malik Scott. Like, Malik Scott is not doing anything for him, man. Nah. See, yeah, I mean, Roy, well, you see the thing with Roy? The shit Roy do is not some shit you teach. That's just natural ability. You know what I'm saying? And that's my point. He's trying to mimic, like, he don't have Roy's reflexes. He don't have Roy's speed. He doesn't have Roy power. He doesn't have nothing. He does nothing like Roy. Like you know what I'm saying? So he was trying to do something where it's like trying to fight like Ali, but you don't have the speed, the reflexes. You know, you don't have the footwork, the movement, the you know, the IQ. You know, Chris Eubanks Jr., you know, He's a good fighter. Not the best, but he's a good fighter. And he's what, 34 now? He has a fight coming up. And, he like, at what age do you look at a fighter and like think like, I mean, it's an individual thing, but at what age, it's like you look at a guy and think, all right, 34, 35, how much more are you going to add to, what you've been doing 20 years already? Because instinctively, man, like, if you're not used to fighting a certain way, like, okay, a perfect example though, but see, think about this. When George Foreman came back, what's my man name he had? Eddie Futch. And then he also had Angelo Dundee. Now, think about how George Foreman fought, right, in his younger, in the early part of his career, versus when he came back. When he came back, he was jabbing more. He wasn't as quick. He was never like really, really fast. The fastest punches he threw was when he would catch your ass on them ropes and start winging them shots to the body. But what I'm saying, if you watch him, he was working behind that jab. That jab was constant. Angelo Dundee couldn't take him and then make him into a boxer. But he could teach him to work off that jab. And that's what he was doing. And them clubbing shots, but everything was off the jab, off the jab. The little subtle things that people don't think matter, they do. That's why, like in boxing, like right now, if a fighter goes into the ring trying to please the crowd, you're not, man. Like, not that you can't, but what I'm saying, not that you can't please the crowd. It's not smart for you to do that, to go and try to fight in a style that doesn't suit you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're not a big puncher, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? You in there trying to bang and slug and you're not a big puncher. If you can't box, it's like, example, why did Malik Scott have Deontay Wilder jumping around the ring like that trying to box? And that's not what Wilder does. Hey, you know what I'm saying? That's not what he does. So it's like, you got this dude in here on the back foot, and it also goes to show you, that's what I'm saying, like with Wilder, like how is he comfortable with that? Like, think about it. This dude got me on my toes, backing up, dancing around, but Wilder's not throwing punches. Wilder's not even used to fighting that way. Nothing was coming back from Wilder. Yeah, man. Yeah, and that's the thing. Wilder don't have, Wilder got them small legs. People don't understand that, man. Like, his even like the way he throws his punches, when Wilder fights and he keeps his arms out and he like tries to keep you at bay, and people like, yo, his footwork got better. Like, by doing what? When you start to pressure Wilder, he walking the whole perimeter of the ring. Yeah, man. Like, that's why I said, man, anybody who don't remember, or if you didn't see it, watch him versus Chris Arreola, man. That was the best, most complete fight I ever seen with Wilder. That was, and it's like, when you step up in competition, if you're questioning, can I land these shots against this guy? Can I be effective against this guy? That's when it becomes one of those situations where you're like, damn, you know what? I don't feel like I can get this shit off. And that's also where you have to have a good corner. I mean, your trainer got to be on point, man. That's why I said, like, did any of y'all hear Ben Davison tell AJ keep his hands up? Yeah, I think that I don't know. I put it like this. The one thing about a puncher is this. In your mind, right? Yeah, Mark Breland had him jabbing. See, that's what I'm saying. So if you're working off of your jab, right? Think about it. He knocked everybody out the same exact way. The same fucking shit. And Wilder used to do this shit where he would like kind of do that little high step. He would literally jump in with the jab right hand. So his whole body's coming behind that fucking shot. And then all of a sudden, see, he started feeding into that knockout hype to where now he's looking for the knockout, and it's like it's not coming. When Luis Ortiz had him hurt, when they fought, and he had him all over the ring, Luis Ortiz just went wild, trying to get him, right? Yeah, you know what? See, this is what I'm saying. Now you just put Deontay Wilder versus Jermaine Franklin will be what? That's what I'm like. Why hasn't Jermaine Franklin fought him or Wild and Michael Hunter? Like why these fights haven't happened? Even like Jared Anderson, Jermaine Franklin. Like why these fights never happened? This is what I'm saying. Remember I made it what video I did. Because somebody had asked me about who do I see as the next great heavyweight champion from America, a fighter from America. And I'm like, he should have fought. Well, yeah, man, Luis Ortiz wasted a lot of time, man, fighting. That's why the thing, and see that in like promotions. See, but I'm telling you, these promotional companies, man. Yeah, because you know why it's hard to rate Luis Ortiz? Because Luis Ortiz was a decent fighter. And the thing is, it's not like he sucked as a fighter, but see, when he himself didn't have a stellar resume. And that's the thing. To assume he would have been better than what he was against top-level fighters that he didn't fight, that's where it's like, you know, like for any fighter. See, his resume, same thing. When you look and you say, who did he beat? It's like, damn, yeah, who did he beat? You see what I'm saying? So for him and Wilder to even have a rivalry is like, well, who did either one of them beat? Then you look and go, okay, cool. Look at Wilder's resume. Wilder, his best win was against Ortiz. Okay, Bermain Stavern had the belt. He got it from him. So him, Chris Arreola. I mean, Dominic Brazil. He was finished by the time he fought Wilder. Wilder might have still beat him anyway. But Brazil was better when he was younger. But Brazil, man, he had too many wars, man. You know, Dominic Brazil. I mean, when he fought Amir Mansour, man, and like, I mean, this dude, right? Who knows? And you know what? Remember, AJ and her, they offered Ortiz when he fought Wilder. So yeah. But yeah, so what I'm saying is Wilder at least have, you know, like those guys that he beat, those were the best guys that he beat. They wasn't the top level dudes, but that's who the best guys he beat. Ortiz's resume is like there's nobody that he even beat Malik Scott. There's nobody like on his resume and that's how you really test yourself is when you fight the very top dudes. So, but yeah, I mean Ortiz, yeah, I think Ortiz, his promotional company sucks, and they did his career nothing but an injustice, man, to the point that they had to lie about the guy's age, stuff like that. Because I'm like, damn, this man been 38 years old for like 22 years, man. Like seriously, I mean, you know, all that kind of stuff happens, and like. Yeah. And that's the thing. Luis Ortiz, he's those fights came later, even later. So, yeah, too little, too late. But that's the thing about boxing with and Cuban fighters. I don't know what it is with them, man, but like Frank Sanchez too. I think Frank Sanchez is like 33 now. So it's like, yeah, I don't know, man. They just don't get a lot of publicity early in their careers, man. I don't know what the fuck be going on, but and that's the thing that like when people say shit like, okay, like for example, right? Remember Felix Savon? He was a glorified Olympic fighter. They wouldn't let him come to the States and fight. Frank Sanchez can beat Andy Ruiz and. Yeah. Somebody put in the chat earlier that he was hurt against Caballero. So that's what I'm saying. When a fighter come back and you see how they look, Yeah, I always got to judge that, man. Like when I see the comeback fight, because a lot of times things happen, and you know what? Let's not we know fighters get injured. That don't mean they have to talk about it. They just take the loss. They don't even talk about it. Just come back, Yeah, and I think Frank Sanchez. If I remember correctly, I think he's 33 years old now. Luis Ortiz and Dylan White would be. Yeah, that would have. Yeah, I think Dylan White too. Like his I see like his skills are deteriorating too, man. Like he's not the same fighter either, man. And if Wilder comes back in 2025, right? I don't know who he's going to fight. Philip Erkovich back to me. Yeah, Philip Erkovich. See this, and that's the thing that's what I don't understand about these fights. I do understand it in a way. Just because you lose a fight, man, then you go take a year and a half. It's like, come on, bro. You lost a fight. That's all. That's all. Yeah, I agree with you, man. That's the fight I think for Wilder as a comeback fight. Because understand, guys like Chisora, Dylan White, Joe Joyce, those are fights that's taking steps up to where, guess what? Now there's an interest. People going to say, yo, Wilder is coming back looking like this and this and that, Yeah. Wow. But that, and you know what? That's the problem with punchers, man. If they can't get you out of there, they don't have the skill set to fall back on. That's all they got, and then they start to get discouraged. Because, I mean, I saw him crack Zhang, and one of them rounds he cracked it with a nice right. Zhang didn't go nowhere, and it was like nothing else, When you see punchers fight cautiously, who normally didn't fight cautiously. Wilder fought cautiously, but it's like yeah, man, yeah, he got to go in there and start. And that's the thing. He should have never abandoned using his jab, man. Once you get to the point where you start going straight into just, I can knock everybody out, and then you don't get the knockout. That's the thing, man. It's like you know, who else and a guy like Dylan White. See, this is what I'm saying. Chisora is there to be hit though. Dylan White there to be hit, and the thing is, Chisora and him, they around the same age, right? Or Chisora might be a little bit older, but this is what I'm saying. Because if for him to beat somebody that nobody cares about, and just for the sake of Wilder fans saying, okay, he won, okay, right. But Wilder is trying to get catapulted to a certain spot, whether it's more than anything, a big money fight. So whether it's for a title or it's a big money fight, because one of the saddest things, man, is like if a guy tell you he want to fight until he's 40 or until he's 38, then all of a sudden he's all the 46 still fighting. Usually that's because the guy, they didn't accomplish the things they wanted to, Calvin Ford. Yeah, See, the thing about the trainers y'all saying, they're all very good trainers. But for Wilder, man, I don't know. Is there a trainer that can make Wilder feel more comfortable? You know what I mean? With his fight style. Like, it's like for somebody that can make him feel like, you know what, man, I got this. I can go ahead and do this. That's the thing, what I'm saying, as far as Wilder's style goes. Because these trainers, man, they're good trainers. I don't know. You know what? It depends on if any one of those guys can get Wilder to tap into understanding what he needs to do. Same way how like with AJ, it wasn't just a Ben Davison thing. It was all of those guys. Because everything that he learned from each trainer and put together, and the ups and downs, and then hearing the comments from the people, and then all the expectations, I think with AJ too, man, it came down more to yeah, man, we out here in Philly, man. I think that with AJ too, it was more of he believed more in the people that believed in him than he believed in himself. Not always, but when it came to that, it's like You could see him not fighting like he really felt like he knew what he was doing at times. It was just like what he was supposed to be doing, And so, two, I feel like AJ was trying to make everybody happy. It's like, man, you can't. You got to go in there and just fight your fight and do what you do. Don't worry about, like, I remember him saying, people want me to fight like Tyson. No, well, that's not what I was saying. I don't know about everybody else. I'm saying, go back to doing what you were doing before. Why'd you stop? But, listen, all it comes down to, man, is people understanding what the assignment is. And it's a fight-by-fight basis. So the same thing, like how Dubois did, he did very well against AJ. It's like he has to go to the next fight understanding this is a different fight, but I'm going there to win. So see, the fans can get on a high, but the fighter has to just stay motivated. Because once you get to the point where you just start thinking you're going to do everybody the same way, and you can do it for a very long time, right? But it's going to be that one fight where it's going to be like, hey, you know what? This shit ain't working. And that's where you got to have more tricks of the trade. It's like, it's a difference in these fighters now, man. Philly, it's all right, man. It depends on what part you in, because it's a war zone in Philly, man. It depends on where you are. It's probably a money thing more than anything. If it's a pride thing, that's not the right reason to get back in the ring. Because if your heart's not in it, man, I mean, anything you do, right? Think about this. If you've ever played basketball, I don't care how skillful you are. When you start running up and down that court and your chest start burning, right? I got you. Give me 1 second. What happens when that fatigue sets in? You be ready to sit down. But that warrior in you be like, nah, I'm going to keep going. You might be looking at your opponent like, would you sit your ass down so I can sit, right? But you just keep going. Once you lose that, especially in boxing, a sport where you getting punched in, it's there. I mean, it's not easy, man. All right, let me answer that question. AJ versus Zhang, right? AJ versus any guy. Top level. I got to see better from AJ than what I saw last time. So I'm going to have to see him fight again. If I got to go by the last performances, I would say Zhang, because the way he looked. That's why I'm saying, if that was just a bad night, AJ, and Dubois, did what he was supposed to regardless, then okay. If AJ can tap into that AJ we seen 2 fights prior to Dubois, AJ, by knockout. By knockout. But that's what I don't know, is if he's deteriorating or if that was just, I don't know, man. But yeah, if AJ can tap into that, then yeah, I say AJ. I say AJ, man. I mean, you know what's funny? When you think about Lennox Lewis, right? His last fight with Klitschko, right? And that's what I'm saying. So if we go by that last performance, I would have to say Zhang. But if it's a thing where AJ can tap back into what he did 2 fights prior, I would say AJ. And that's what I'm saying. That's why it's hard to judge. Like I said earlier, people would say, you only as good as your last fight. Not always. You know what I mean? We'll see. We'll see. All right, and how old is Zhang? Zhang is 41 now, right? So, yeah, man. It's like, hold up. Let me show y'all something real quick. Y'all know my mom passed away, right? So, my mom passed away Memorial Day weekend. She had 6 titles I won in my lifetime for a league out. Just, let me show y'all something real quick. me show y'all something real quick, man. I'm gonna show y'all baby meat. All right. So my mom passed away Memorial Day weekend. All right. That's baby Aries right there. I think I was like the 2nd or 3rd grade. All right. It's me, my wife, and my kids. All right. So I had to go get the things from my, whatever. Let me put this back. Put that back. Now, my pop got 2 of my other titles. Y'all count them. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. My pop got my other 2 hanging on his wall. My pop is now in the nursing home, all right? I don't give a fuck about trophies and belts, bro. You understand? I appreciate you, family. Thank you. Thank you. Blessings. All right? I don't care about trophies and belts. I've won fucking titles. I've won trophies. You understand what I'm saying? I've done a lot of shit. I used to wrestle, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Olympic style. Not that WWF shit, but Olympic style. This shit was like, hey, thanks for raising me right. And she had, 4. My father got the other 2. 6 fucking of these motherfuckers I won. That shit don't make me who I am. But people don't understand when I'm speaking about boxing, right? I'm passionate about it, but it's not like this shit runs my life. It didn't run it and it didn't ruin it. All right, this is 6 of these bitches I got. But these are 4 here. My father got the other 2. So people don't know my background. Thank you, family. Thank you. People they don't know my background, man. They don't understand that. So I speak from a perspective of experience, not as some fan sitting back just talking. And people don't understand that. That's why, let me put these back so I can sit down. These bitches heavy, man. I'm speaking from a place of experience, man, and people don't understand that. All right? It's my mom. All right? That's my mom. Yes, sir. That's my mom. So, man, that's what I'm saying. And these guys, I'm like, man, you know how many of us was out here grinding? And like I said, it wasn't about the money for me. I truly didn't care. Like I said, I knew I could make a lot of money, but that wasn't my motivation, man. And so when you see these guys making millions of dollars or in a position to make like even more millions, and they ain't here playing around, ripping money up, throwing it in the air, doing all kinds of goofy shit, not taking their career serious, fighting once every 2 years, and like what the fuck, what are you doing, bro? Then you bitching about the way the business is and how things go. Like, for example, right? Here's what's crazy. You see Gervonta Tank Davis' next opponent, right? Lamont Roach. People were like, yo, what is he doing? Yo, okay. We know what happened with the Lomachenko fight, why that didn't take place. Lamont Roach is a fucking champion. You know why nobody cares? They don't know who the fuck he is. So they're sleeping on him. Even if Tank win, so what? He wins. But guess what? That dude is a champion. It is what it is. You see what I'm saying? We don't, for boxing, it's like, it's crazy. If people don't know who you are, they don't care that you have a belt. They don't care that you have a belt. The things that made boxing strong, the things that made, now there was always racketeering, it was always, mob tie, all that. It was always corruption. There was always racism, all of that shit. But what I'm saying is, as a business, fighters knew that they had to fight. Promoters know that they fighters had to be ready. These dudes was ready to go. Once it got to the point where they went from the poorhouse to the penthouse, sad to say, and don't get me wrong, these guys need to be compensated properly. I've always said that, and I always will. The problem is, right now, you got dudes with like 8 fights talking about, I want 10 million. Bro, nobody even know your opponents that you fought. They barely know you. You're trying to give demands to the champions. And then when the fight don't happen, he don't want no smoke. We sent the contract, blah, 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 or what. Like, come on, bro. It used to be a time where he's the A side, he's the B side, right? You win. I'm probably about to finish up in a minute, though, anyway, because I'm about to, boogie on. But I just wanted to do this first live and just see how shit went. If I do another live anytime soon, anyway, I'll probably post it first just to get everybody aware of it. Yeah, because like I got the next 4 days off, so I might just go live every day until I, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But right now, brother, I don't even do like I don't even monetize my channel. That's why, hold up, all right, I missed that comment. I'll catch it next time it pop back up. Yeah, I don't even monetize my channel right now because I can't, I want to be consistent. See, I give a fuck about the people. You see what I'm saying? I'm not, it ain't about just, you know what I'm saying? I can, if I'm able to do this on a more regular basis, it's just timing. I don't want to do this and then I can't do it consistently. I feel like I owe y'all that. You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, I don't even monetize my channel and stuff like that. Yeah, if I ever do. If I do, it'd have to be where I know I'm on here and I can just connect with y'all on a regular basis. I got content I didn't even put out yet. And what happens most of the time, it depends. If it's something that I do and then it's like, okay, 3-4 days go by and something already took place since then I won't even put it out because, all right, then that's outdated. But I got one that is different. It's not about, it's current, but I'm going to put it out, but I'm not going to talk about it. Y'all will see it when I post it. But, yeah, man, I mean, I'm about to cut out in a minute. But listen, it's like I said before, it just comes down to like people caring about what they're doing. Once something becomes big and it becomes a global thing and like everybody want a piece of this money, you got deep pockets, right? They come into the sport of boxing as promoters and all. They don't even know who the fighters are so much. They don't even really care. It's not about legacy. It's about money. So what Turkey is doing is different. And all these guys is always about money, man. Always. And that's one of the reasons why Jared Anderson thought he was just going to jump on somewhere and be on a gravy train or something. Like, nah, man, you got to earn this shit, though. And he doesn't have a big enough following to like come in with that. But that's the mentality of these guys, man. Dude's got 10 fights or less asking for like big money. And it's like, bro, nah, that's not how it works. And then you holding out. You know what's so funny, man? I can remember people saying, yo, David Benavidez is only 22 years old. He's 28 now. And it don't even seem like that many years went by like that. Yeah, and this is what I'm saying. And he's still trying to chase a Canelo fight. It's like, at what point do you... So now I'm hearing him and David Morrell will be fighting, right? So it's like about time. And I think he probably only took this fight because people started to blast him. And I was like, yo, how you going to turn around? Because you remember he always said he don't want to take nothing but big fights, right? And he had turned the damn, Morrell fight down. So we like, wait a minute. How you going to bitch about Canelo turning you down? Why would you not fight David Morrell? For what reason would you not fight him? So now they're supposed to be fighting. It's like, okay, yeah, that's what's supposed to happen, man. And that's what people got to understand about this sport, man, about anything. If you don't put the time in, right? People got to understand, man. Like I said, you can get hurt. You ever seen somebody get paralyzed in football and it don't even like it was that hard of a hit or a tackle? and all of a sudden the person's paralyzed. And you like, damn, it didn't even look that bad. Like, shit happens. You know how many fighters have died in the ring, man? And like, people don't understand this shit, man. You gotta really want to do this. Like boxing, you like we say, man, you know, you play basketball, you play football, you don't play boxing. And even in football, yes, you seen people get paralyzed. I mean, even if you saw what happened to Bo Jackson, that shit didn't look that bad, man. But it ended his career. So look, family, I'm about to get up out of here. You know, get home, get this workout in. You know, but what I want y'all to do, I would just drive and talk, but I'm gonna go through some dead spots, and I'll probably lose, you know, reception. I know it's a couple of spots that's gonna happen. But look, I don't know when I'm gonna do this live. Maybe tomorrow. I'll probably like I'm off for 4 days, brother. So I'll be back to work Tuesday. So hell yeah, I'll probably go live tomorrow. I don't know what's up with the work schedule. So if I post and have it set, and y'all able to log on at that time, just make your presence known, so I know how many people waiting for the live. That way, you know, I do that, or I could update and then move it. You know what I'm saying? So that way everybody who was here could come back. In the meantime, I'm about to get up out of here. Hope y'all enjoyed the live. I enjoyed kicking it with y'all, man. And you know, we'll do this again. We'll do this again. I just want to make sure I'm consistent. I'm able to do it. You know how it is, man. We out here working and living, and you know, it's always something you got to do. But anyway, y'all, thank y'all for stopping by, man. And listen, to the next time. Y'all know my slogan.